The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Man, I might suggest that most game studios are infested with jealous.
Oh, so that's just his fucking his weaselly take then. If I was a cynical man, that's not the first time I've heard him say that. And then he says the thing that he wants to say. You know,
if
what I
was a cynical man, I would say the thing that I actually believe right now.
and pretend like I'm kind of layering it with a degree of reasonable doubt that I actually said it.
Like you can do that for anything. It's like, well, I said if I was, so that obviously means I didn't mean it. Fucking
physically repulsive land whales who can't stand to be reminded that they've broken more mirrors than Conan the Barbarian.
I'm willing to believe that he doesn't actually see women this way, honestly.
Oh yeah,
he probably doesn't.
No.
Not to this extreme, but like he's just being cartoonish with his language, and that's partly, I'm sure, to entertain, because that's what his audience expects. And is, you know, that's part of the problem with the critical drinker, right? Is like the character can be, you know, a little bit more egregious with his language, but the audience doesn't really distinguish that.
Oh shit. It's so fucking hail to rip a verse. It's pretty good, bro.
There's no
it's just sits there.
Oh shit.
You have a kind of sick desperation in your laugh.
There's this idea that like the corporations don't care about the quality of the product. All they care about is you know appeasing the woke feminists. And it's like, okay, right, I don't know, they obviously haven't thought about it for more than 5 seconds, but like no writer gets a pitch from a studio. Hey, we want you to write our new movie. We don't care if it's fucking wank, right? As long as you have a woman kiss another woman in the background. No writer's going to be like, yes, oh, I can't wait to devote months of my life to not putting any effort into my craft whatsoever and turning out a heaping pile of dog shit just because I'm going to get a pretty small paycheck. Like no one is a writer by trade except for, like, I don't know, nepo babies, right? No one is a writer by trade because they want an easy paycheck.
Star Wars is Dead for $50. MCU for $20. Star Wars is Dead for $20. I used to sell toxic poison to kids to feed my habit and make money, and I went to jail. Now I sell toxic poison to kids to feed my habit and make money on YouTube.
Mahler makes a point of like, and it's like, okay, fine, it's kind of true, I guess. Like he says,
it's a good pause though, because I was going to say, did anyone else get struck by the editing's a little choppy in this trailer? Like it feels like it's one draft away from complete.
Then Az's response to that is,
it feels like they're cutting lots of stuff out. Of what's actually happening. So yeah, we're getting kind of like a really condensed. This scene might go for 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. That was his fucking response to, like, God. I mean, you know, that's definitely just stating a fact about what editing does. You know, what trailers are. and then he thought he was saying something profound. Whoa. I guess.
You mean a trailer's a cut up version of the movie, just doing highlights? What?
The scenes are actually much longer in the movie.
You don't want to upset kids. That fraction of the audience. I know, so you got to keep it loose enough.
You got to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. The last thing you want is a YouTube thumbnail with "woke?" question mark. So just avoid it.
I'm sure it's already happening.
Friends. Should we just friends.
Should we just do that for this video?
Woke? People that don't click on the video are going to be very upset at us. Oh no, they become grifters.
It's a big red circle around her face. Whoa.
That's awesome, dude. Like, I mean, honestly, cool. I mean, sometimes I worry that I'm like a little bit too kind of fucking bro-y in my presentation. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I talk.
Only someone who hates women would consider that a bad thing. So
Yeah.
There is nothing bad about that.
Congratulations, you owned yourself.
Displaying feminine energy. It's like, is that a bad thing? Do you not like to be around people who display feminine energy? I mean, it's totally up to you, but
probably doesn't like women, you know, at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, loud as fuck. Women are cool, dude. Like, generally, you know,
yeah,
pretty cool.
Unless you're Melanie Mack or Chrissy Mayer. I mean, otherwise,
true.
With an emo Kirby avatar. Yeah, there's nothing
it's almost like I know. I didn't want to say anything about that. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But like.
No complaint.
Subscribe to me. Oh, Dane, take my hand. I will lead you to salvation.
Whoa, whoa, Ethan! Jesus, calm down, buddy.
Oh fuck,
man!
Bro, he hit me good with that one.
Yeah,
I don't think you liked my serenade.
No, like, look, we just thought it would be a good idea for you two guys to talk, right? Like the kind of a
yeah,
that's a bit of a surprise.
Man, I'm sorry.
Like, yeah,
I didn't mean it.
You fucked him up there. Did you see that, Bob? Did you see how Ethan reacted to Turf?
No, what did Ethan do? Oh my god.
Look, Turf was just like, look, remember last night we're like, hey, we should let these two guys talk because they've never talked before, right? And like, something might happen, something cool might happen. We're thinking maybe we can like build bridges here, and and so Turf decides he's going to do, how Turf does to us, how he serenades us, and we just kind of like,
he serenades me every night before I go to sleep. It's actually really sweet.
We swoon and we're like, oh man, this fucking guy is amazing, dude. Well, hey, try that with Ethan. Let's see what happened. No
Subscribe to me. Oh, Dane.
Okay, I see the problem. He accidentally called him Dane. I think that's the problem.
It's okay, Turf. You can keep on calling me.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how.
I'm used to it. I mean,
I still don't think this reaction was warranted. Well, I don't think this is a warranted reaction.
Take my hand. I will lead you to salvation.
Just
bro lost his head,
up, man. Get used
lost
to it,
his
man.
head.
Yeah,
lost it, dude.
Just unreasonable.
Unreasonable.
There's somebody who was talking about soy one time and about how like you acting like a bitch and stuff like that. Who was that was saying that? That was Ethan. Well,
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this or not, but
listen, unquestionable. I think this is not even a hot take. I think that's the worst thing Ethan's ever done. Reacting that way to Turf's beautiful serenade, just disgusting.
Of course, yeah,
definitely.
How could he? How could he?
Look, I got my freaking Venmo thing on there. That was kind of a joke. I didn't really mean to have that on there.
Well, let me scan it. See what happens. Let me scan it.
Please don't, or do, unless you're gonna. I mean, if you're gonna send money, please. Please. There we go. Hell yeah. Woo! All right. Dermot is sure going off in chat. Hey guys, how you doing? Nicholas, Jason Fleming.
These people are pro-capitalist.
McLeod, Bob of the old ways.
Yes, the inferior Bob.
The look, I'm not gonna make a judgment on which Bob is better. Just you guys are gonna have to fight for us to decide.
Second best Bob on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right behind movie Bob.
The number one Bob. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Wow, man. I was trying to find some stuff, and then it's just like a bunch of Dermot. Daniel, what's up? How you doing? You sound like the lead singer of Nickelback, Turf.
Thank you.
I mean, look, there's a reason that they're like world famous. You know what I mean? Like they're a household name.
I'll listen. I'll take it.
This is how you remind me of the singer of Nickelback.
Look at this graph.
Look at this chud tier list.
Yes.
While we're getting set up, guys, I have my comic book polls up for tomorrow's live stream. You can pick what Marvel and DC book I will do in addition to Blood Hunt #1 and Jake Sunrise #3.
Those aren't real though.
True, they aren't real.
Like they just you just made that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there is the Avengers. There is Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Robin. Those are like the comics there are.
That's a.
There's no Jake Sunrise physical comic book at all. It
that says Jurassic Park. Love. Okay, just
true.
Get out of here with your
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get out of here with those cartoons.
Oh wait, we don't need this banner on the thing that's saying we're not starting yet. We're gonna go ahead and pull that down. I'm gonna you got your email up here in a thing. I'm gonna put mine as well, because I imagine we might get some people challenging us on certain things during this stream. Who knows? So we'll just go ahead and
Possibly. And I'm kind of like opening up my if people want to actually have a conversation, send me an email and we can do something on stream. But believe it or not, I'm not really interested in discussing the gender wage gap or abortion.
See, I was actually, you know what? I wish I had time. What I was planning to do was, I have here. I'll show you the graphic because it's amazing. But like, yeah, I was gonna make us a new graphic that was like I don't know, the abortion initiative or something like that. Just you know, just because why not? Because we're just experts, right? And then have this as our graphic, right?
Listen.
See, I know what that is.
I'm not saying cishet men aren't allowed to talk about abortion, but I feel like a debate between two cishet men about a woman's right to choose seems to be missing the point.
Yeah, especially also if, like if you aren't like a professional, like you aren't an expert.
Yeah,
in abortions, you know, you're a guy who talks about comics online.
Yes, exactly.
You know? It's like, no, you need to talk to me about abortion right now.
A slight chasm between those two things, a slight gap.
Yeah. One of the choices here, I won't talk about any comic books, and we'll just discuss abortion.
Yeah, no comics, just abortions. We're gonna talk about late term abortions, guys. That's what, you know. That's much more fun, some would say, than talking about comics.
Yes. Oh boy.
Well, so that, Nicholas, that is interesting. We are going to have to, before we get into any actual ranking, we're gonna kind of we had to determine like what are our criteria? How are we approaching this? Because it's not like we're actually ranking our favorites of anything. It's not like we're ranking, you know, something positive or good or whatever, and then like some of them are it's really just like shades of awful, and that's kind of like this. That calls for a whole new frame of view, right?
Yeah, we're actually I guess the perspective we've chosen to go with is we're ranking grifters based on their ability to grift. So we're almost seeing grifting as a skill that some people can hone, and some people are better at it and more effective at it than others. This is not some of these we like better, some of these are less bad than others. I think once we look at the tier list, I think most of these people, not going to say everyone, but most of them, I think we'd agree, are bigots. This is not like who is bigoted, who is not. It's like, I think we could say they all have a pretty negative effect, all of them. That's why they're on the list.
Well, I mean, if we were ranking by quality, the grades would be like shit, and then less shit would be the top.
Hold on, Sodium, you're not. That's the only time you say that in this fucking chat. That's just not the position. That's an anti fucking equality, anti, reason position. It's nonsense, and yeah, you're just not welcome to fucking spout that shit in chat here. So please don't.
Yeah, believe it or not, my point was that we aren't here to discuss that. I know the point was very, very veiled before.
Yeah, I mean, when you say we're not here to discuss abortion, we actually mean
we are.
We are here to discuss abortion.
That's all we're here for. That's the only thing we're gonna do. We're gonna wake up and eat abortions and eat, drink, and sleep and shit abortions.
Yeah,
somebody myself ready. I did like 5 abortions this morning, guys.
Yeah, and I guess like there is a part of it where we do respond to people when we disagree with how they talk about abortion, and there is a difference between we all have a stance on abortion. We all are pro-choice, and I will defend my stance against people if it has to come to that. However, there's also a difference between like calling out dumb positions from other people and then actually being like, okay, I want to have a conversation or a debate about abortion, because that's not our topic, that's not our area of expertise and stuff.
My view of like calling on him and pointing that out, because I know he's new here, or they are new here, so like, is that my position typically is that I don't want anyone to feel unwelcome in this community, and if you're entering into chat or whatever, it's a community, and so making a statement like that you know, can make any number of people feel unwelcome. People who have had abortions, people who have, you know, just women. Period. Because like, especially if you're a dude and you're saying that, you're essentially just gatekeeping a woman's body for some fucking reason. You think you have the ability to do that? Because a lot of people seem to do that. It's a, you know, I mean, never mind the fact that he made the most basic ass silly argument of like, you know, oh, it's killing and killing is wrong. Okay, well, what about if you're being murdered and you have to kill someone to stop being murdered? Right. So like, it's not clearly not just that cut and dry. And reducing it down to that is silly, and let's not do that. And now we're going to get into 3 hours of abortion discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
what's
just-
your
just to
favorite
make it-
week to have an abortion?
I mean, I don't know about week. My favorite day.
It's great.
I usually like a Friday. You know what I mean? Friday seems pretty good.
No,
like,
Tuesdays are
Usually
underrated.
clinic's a little bit slower on Friday. Nobody wants to do it right before the weekend.
Why? Because some people think that because we have some political perspective and that we do, you know, feel like there's politics in essentially everything in the media that we consume and everything like that. And because we're not on the right, that it was a joke, man. It's an ongoing joke, and we're making it go on way too long. It's my fault. I'm stopping now,
guys. My channel, and I'm pretty sure these guys' channels too, is about nerdom. And we all have different aspects of nerdom we like to talk about, but it's about nerdom and also about defending it from toxicity. That simple.
But also, yeah, the base is right here.
And also Free Palestine. Yeah.
I get behind that. Yeah.
I get behind that.
And now we're going to get into talking about Palestine.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, we thought abortion is too hairy of a topic to get into, so we're going to get into Israel-Palestine now.
Completely, you know.
What are your guys' thoughts on the Holocaust, actually?
Well, let's talk about numbers. No.
Listen,
that's a joke. Whoever clips that, it's a fucking joke. You better include this part, or you're a piece of shit. All right.
We need to discuss seriously and debate how we're gonna start creating the communes, guys.
All right. Keep in mind, guys, if you clip us out of context, that is bad faith. And to my understanding, being bad faith is the worst thing a human being can ever be.
It literally means you're evil. Your soul is
Yeah.
tinged with fucking satanic shit.
Apparently.
So
going
this
Hey,
is
Morgan.
another.
Hi,
this
we're
is
doing great.
This is another example of us expertly avoiding getting derailed on our streams.
I think a little derailment, especially at the beginning, can be fun. Let people come in while we're just going.
I think that's why people show up to watch us, right? Can we talk about that actual reaction of Ethan Van Sciver? Do you guys know what he was reacting to?
No.
What was it?
It's I can show you. It's just a clip of him watching Eric July, like the fucking Eric July and Az podcast. And Az is being a loud dipshit, and they're like, you know, being really dumb because that's really just what they are. But like, he seems to be just watching it like normal, and just suddenly he just fucking flips the shit out and like slams his headphones into his fucking, and like his headphones broke. Like if I, you know, the clip goes on for a minute and he's like, oh, I broke my headphones, and like that's not good, man. That's not
It's
healthy.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, seemingly. I mean, he's like telling, you know, I'm sure it's performative. I'm sure on some level he did it on purpose because he knew it was going to get some attention or something. Who knows? What it probably is, because at that moment, Az was actually screaming and being a fucking performative, you know, screaming shit baby.
As he does.
And I bet that Ethan was just like, I don't like that he's getting this attention right now. I'm gonna do it more. I'm gonna be a louder baby. I'm gonna be a louder crazy baby and throw some stuff.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, trying to clean my other glasses so my eyes don't reflect in the damn camera, because I forget about that.
Ah, yes.
I promise that's what I'm doing, is cleaning my glasses, guys.
Oh yeah.
What else would you be doing?
Yeah, don't get your minds out of the gutter.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, yes. So we will be ranking grifters based on their ability to grift. Yeah, and so there might even be some praise, a little bit backhanded praise, but I mean, we will be saying that some of them are better at what they do than others.
Listen, we cannot put PP Little on the list. He would just dominate them all.
Yeah,
exactly.
Is he even a grifter? I think he is just like the purest soul.
He is a believer.
He believes everything he says, man.
Get out of here!
Be careful watching PP Little because he will turn me. He will turn me. He is that
He'll
powerful.
flip me over.
Yeah.
Yes, we are tier listing chuds, grifters, and that does get us into the top, definitions of things, I believe, because we have to kind of define these words if we're going to get into them.
Of course.
So, do we want to do that now, or?
I think now's a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've got
it.
here, and I have this already, ready to go because it's going to be part of my video coming up. Where I actually define the difference between a grifter and a con man, which I've never really like a con or a scam, right? What's the difference there? There is one. It's subtle, but it's there. So a grifter, as defined by Oxford Dictionary, is a person who engages in petty or small scale swindling. Okay, well, what the fuck is swindling then, right? So let's see another one. A grifter is a con artist, someone who swindles people out of money through fraud. If there's one type of person you don't want to trust, it's a grifter, someone who cheats others out of money. And that, so then, okay, so how does it apply with these guys we talk about? What are they, defrauding? Well, nothing in a legal sense that I'm aware of, so like we're not making any legal claims that they're committing fraud, or anything like that. But like, because like if you order a comic book from Eric July, you're going to get your comic book, right? It's not like he's like fucking taking your money and
you're cutting out.
The gray area comes into like
you're cut out.
Uh-oh. The gray area comes in like, is he giving you your money's worth? Is he putting as much into it as is he selling himself real big? Is he actually, does he actually care as much as he presents himself to? And there's, that's can be pretty subjective sometimes. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, that's what the grift is less like, he put a comic book out, you order it, you're gonna get it. So I mean, to a degree, you can give him credit, but like what he does is he sets up almost this fake infrastructure. And the idea is like essentially everything else sucks. Only my stuff's the good stuff. That's where the grift comes in. That's where the lies come in.
To me, the grift started with the Rippaverse the moment that he announced it and was going to start making comics, because he never mentions that he would not be able to have sold any comics really at all if he was just a YouTuber who decided to start selling comics. Sure, he'd have sold some, but the fact is he built an audience on resentment and hatred of Marvel and DC for years prior to announcing that. And there was just like, we said it before, he could have just offered like some, I don't know, flavored toilet paper or something like that, and they probably bought that shit.
Yeah, I think also like an important part of grifters, it's just like the whole not really being honest with your own position in order to make money, in order to, as you say, swindle people, this whole woke thing. I mean, we've shown multiple times throughout our videos that just all these anti-woke arguments, they fall apart before they've even come, right? And it's always just new stuff. It's outrage farming. You can tell it's not honest work, a lot of it. It is just, okay, this gets attention, we get clicks, we get our money, that's what we do.
Yep.
That's a big part of why we call these people grifters.
So Bob, yes, I mean, I agree, but like also what I try to do, man, is over time I've kind of developed this is like, I can't prove this. You know what I mean? I can't prove that somebody doesn't believe what they say. That's really a difficult thing to prove without them admitting it. Or like, contradicting themselves. So like what I tend to think of it is just, have they set up, are they selling you something, a narrative, a product, a service, or whatever, claims based on something that you can disprove, something that is false. And so like with the comic books area of things, which is how I got into this stuff, it's like the comics are dying, that everybody hates this stuff, that this is all, terrible and blah, blah, blah. And they moving the field, the fucking goalposts all over the place. You know, like after a couple of years of it being clear that the comics industry was making more money every year, they were like, oh well, manga is destroying comics, and it's like they're not competing; they're actually in the same fucking market. You know, and then they also don't talk about how kids comics like juvenile fiction is actually selling better than manga. They don't ever mention that. So it's just, you know, the things that they the premises that they base shit on is generally how what I like to attack, because you hit that foundation, it's fucking crumble.
Yeah. I don't really know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, man. Hey, Dermot, you're kind of spamming the chat with a bunch of shit, man. And so, like, we kind of aren't really fans of that. I know you're new here, so I get what you're excited. Look, we are critical of Disney whenever it's warranted to be. Typically, we preface a lot of pretty much anything with, like, you know, Disney, not great, but they have you know, all this power and own all this shit, and they need to diversify their shit. And also but we find ourselves in the position where we do like the narratives and the stories and stuff like that, characters, so we have to kind of, it's a fine line to walk.
It's one of those things where you say, where if you were to say, I'm boycotting Disney because I dislike their stance on Israel, I can respect that, I can get that. But if you say I'm boycotting Disney because they have a gay character in a comic book or have a woman directing Star Wars, I don't respect that. That is ridiculous.
I mean, there's also like like this is absolutely just true. There are people who hate the sequel trilogy because they don't like the writing or the storytelling, and it doesn't have to be for, you know, anti-woke reasons. There are people who do that. That's, I think, pretty obvious, but also good enough to like acknowledge. Yeah, same. And I guess a part of why we talk about grifters, and when it comes to Disney, is that a lot of the time they're also really inconsistent in their criticisms of Disney. You know, when Disney's bad, then Disney is destroying Hollywood, you know. But then if a Disney property or something, a studio under Disney, comes out with something like Avatar: Way of Water, you know, that does really well, then suddenly that is destroying Disney. And it's really inconsistent, a lot of the arguments that there are against Disney, despite Disney having a lot to be criticized.
The goddamn the strike was just a glaring example of this. They like really put themselves on display with the strike.
Yeah. Exactly. Talking about, oh, we just want better writing. We don't want this cheap writing that Hollywood is doing. We want the creators to have their vision and not all like the corporate and like the executive greed and stuff. And then comes the what's it called?
It was the writer's strike and the actor's strike.
The writer's strike and the actor's strike, where it was about, okay, yeah, better, like we want more rights, you know, we want to be treated well. And then a lot of the grifters were against that, and it just shows the hypocrisy a lot of the time.
I mean, yeah, obviously, people are allowed to have different opinions, and you know, that's the kind of bullshit that we all hear often as like some attempt at. Sorry, those other glasses just hurt my head. You know, as an attempt to discount anything we're saying. It's like we aren't saying people are not allowed to have different opinions. We've never said that. It's like you're saying, the inconsistency and just the dishonesty. And like personally, like I come from a perspective of like I want fandom, as in like the community of fans around things, to be not a shitty place to hang out. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to focus on things besides the media. Like I do this content because I want, hopefully one day, for people to be able to you know, engage in fandom and not have to worry about somebody just throwing the woke bomb in the middle of everything and just like fucking, it doesn't mean anything. It's irrelevant. It destroys any kind of fun or productive conversation and enjoyment. You know, so yeah, that's where I come from.
I mean, Dermot, you're hitting the chat a lot. So you need to be careful. Might put you in a timeout if you do it a lot. But I mean, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with anything you're saying.
No, not necessarily, but man.
But yeah, I mean, you are correct. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. 100% correct.
True.
Yep.
That also doesn't mean that that also doesn't make boycotting something you disagree with a bad thing, you know?
No. Yeah.
You know, it is true. There are many things that we buy that are made by people who are suffering. You know, there are many companies we buy things from who are supporting bad people. It's going to happen. That can still be true. and it can still also be like a good thing to not support a company who's doing something. You know, it's like there is a little bit of nuance there, but I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think boycotting stuff, like, it has to be personal boycotts. Like, doing it on a wide scale, I don't think is effective at all. But if you do a personal boycott, I get it. Like, I currently have a personal boycott against J.K. Rowling. If her name's attached, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Super Dude. I hope you enjoy your stay.
I was gonna respond to Super Dude, even though he was addressing you. Okay, I was gonna say you must be watching on Turf's channel, but the fact is we're streaming on 5 different channels right now, and we're all, you know, when it comes to this stuff, generally we agree about these types of content creators. We don't agree on everything, you know, smaller details of opinions and stuff. In fact, TurfNation's never seen fucking Star Trek. Fuck him. So if you like Star Trek, come over to me or to Organized Chaos. You know,
and if you like real series, then stay here.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this real quick. Timeout.
So we're going to talk about the Kobayashi or Maru for the rest of the stream, right?
Okay, so the grifting implies. I take issue with calling these people grifters because it conceals the fact that they're natural reflections of conservatism. Grifting implies intentional deception, but there's no reason to question their authenticity. There is. In some cases, there absolutely is. I think it's, you know, I mean, if you're like saying that generally 100% of these people are just believe everything they say and they're doing what they're doing because they do, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's absurd to think that none of them are doing this as a grift, because some of them definitely are.
I mean, there are a few that I don't think are grifters that I just think are kind of insane. But I mean, you can kind of tell the ones who are grifters, typically they're going to be the more successful ones because they understand how to toe the line, because they don't actually believe anything. They're just saying what they think the algorithm wants them to spit out.
I mean, there is definitely like I get what you're saying. I'm not rejecting what you're saying entirely. There is a kind of a weird dynamic that happens with the grifters themselves. You know, I believe some of them are aware, because it's easy to find information that disqualifies the shit that they say a lot. They choose to ignore that information. Whenever they're presented with that information, they choose to ignore it. You know, some of them have admitted that they just don't care, you know, like that they're just doing it because it's, well, at the end of the day, we're talking about fascism. And fascism doesn't care about anything but power. They don't care about being right, correct, you know what I mean, morally superior, anything. They just care about power. So they're going to do and say whatever they can have to do. And that, in a way, is when you monetize that, is just grifting. You know what I mean? So the audience, though, on the other hand, like you're saying, is a different animal, because many of them aren't aware, and many of them are simply victims of this fucking fascist / grift thing going on.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, the people who are watching the grifters, they are not getting anything out of it. They're not benefiting from it, you know. But the people who are making the videos, they are, you know. And we see a lot of times where it's like just examples of, okay, this can't, like, you can't be this obtuse, you know. Like someone like the Critical Drinker, who, I mean, I don't want to say where I think he should be on the list, but because we'll get to that. But we've seen multiple times in his videos where he makes a point, and then in the editing, the clips he's showing disproves his point. Like when he's talking about how there's no stoic, traditionally masculine men in like a TV and films anymore. But then in the clips, he's purposely editing away from those characters. He's using scenes where there are characters like that, but he's just not showing them. It's like that can't be. Like, that can't just be stupidity from him, you know? And maybe that's us giving them more credit.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine. I mean, I imagine what's on your mind is when he's talking about this, and he's talking about Witcher, and he's cutting to Jaskier, and it's like,
exactly,
that show stars Geralt of fucking Rivia. Are you serious? Are you?
Exactly. And there's multiple times in that video where he does it, and other videos, and it's like because I don't believe that someone like the Critical Drinker is unintelligent. You know?
So I've loaded up, just before we get started, I don't know if we can, maybe we'll watch one now, and then maybe as we come across them throughout the tier list, we can watch other ones. But like, I've got the grift clips loaded up here. Okay.
All right.
Presenting the grift clips, folks.
reason people like in the West are starting to draw more and more towards Korean or Japanese filmmaking. It's precisely because it's a bit different from what we get. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, what is the most recent Japanese film or at least entertainment that you enjoyed so far?
What am I thinking of? See, a lot of them would be older ones, like Old Boy, for example.
Okay, so here, follow my logic through this. Maybe this will help anybody out understanding, like at least where I go with this. So he may just be an idiot who made a claim that he didn't have any evidence to back up, because that's what happened here. He makes a claim, a very specific claim. That's you should have evidence for that if you're going to make a claim like that, right? And then whenever he's called on it, he's not able to back it up whatsoever, and it seems clear that he hasn't even really put any thought into it, to be honest. Like, if anybody can show me where he's actually done a better job of explaining this somewhere else, I'd love to see that. But as far as I know, that doesn't exist. Okay, so maybe he's just an idiot. But if you're an idiot and then you fuck up like this publicly, where it's like, oh man, I'm such an idiot, I can't believe I made that claim, it didn't have, and you don't like then correct your fucking behavior and correct the record that of this, you're dishonest. And then you continue making content the same way that you've been making content, making the same types of claims and stuff, then that makes you a grifter in my mind, right? Does that make sense? So even if he is just an idiot, he's still a grifter.
Well, he's not saying what he thinks people want to hear, not his actual opinions.
Saying what sells a narrative, right? Yeah, it's.
I really enjoyed that one. I know it's not Japanese, but yeah, probably stuff like that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I really like.
And I'd also add, in his original claim, he does say Korean or Japanese, and Old Boy is Korean. It's not new though.
But the question is also about Japanese.
I know it's like.
Yes, he does directly act about Japanese movies.
Chinese, I think. But yeah, like it's.
No, my shit is being weird again.
But I mean, the point of the matter is, again, like it really is just about supporting creators that you like. And if you want to give Eric July $100 a month, it doesn't really matter like what comes with it. You're just sponsoring him to continue yelling about the hoe ass roads.
Thank you, Ethan. Making a second appearance on the show today. Strong showing.
I said, Marsha, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but out of Darwin's memory, I am not going to fight back. If you feel the need, because she blamed me for that, and she tried to call a harassment army, the likes of which I have not experienced before or since, against me, saying that I was claiming her husband, her deceased husband, Darwin Cook, was Comicsgate. That was a lie. I didn't say that. Mark, understand, you people lie.
Yeah, totally.
I did not say that. Billy did.
So have you ever said that he's Comicsgate?
Nah.
No.
So you've never.
I'm not saying it now.
Comicsgate.
Cross his heart.
No, not even saying it now. Yeah. All right. This is interesting. Here's a tweet from you. Have fun scraping work.
Oh shit!
In a dead industry that if you suck enough corporate dick, you'll be able to earn in a lifetime what I earned drawing frogs independently.
Grift.
Yeah, that face smile of a man who just got busted, and you can tell Ethan's a grifter because whenever I talk to him on fucking Twitter, you're gonna see his post right there. He always double talks shit, and that's a clear sign of a grifter. I don't believe this. I do believe this.
No, did he go, oh man, yeah, you're right, I fucking did say that. Jesus Christ. Has he since then corrected this and said, look, guys, I made a fucking
brain fart. I forgot about that.
I've been saying for a while now, for years, that she actually launched a harassment army against me when she doesn't even have a fan base. I'm the one that's known for having a fan base that harasses people. I'm the one that launched one at her. And for some reason, I made the fucking opposite claim there. I am so sorry. I apologize. It won't happen again. No, he's never fucking said that. Oh, yeah.
Show it. Bring it up.
Yeah, guess what, Ethan?
What's that?
What you just did was called a lie.
I mean, we know all this, KP. Like, I mean, I know you might maybe like new here, but like we're aware. We appreciate the perspective, though. Let's now get into the grifting. I mean, the ranking. Sorry.
Ooh, the tier ranking.
I let the truth out.
Oh no.
Now, guys, this is an objective list You
Yes.
cannot
Yes.
doubt this once we put it together. It is what it is. Okay.
If you disagree, then you're kind of just stupid, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
just
you are a
wrong.
grifter.
or a
And bad
grifter. Yeah.
faith.
Bad
And
faith. Bad faith. Yep.
And a bigot. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Maybe racist. Maybe.
All right. So
Yeah.
what do
Should
we
we
got?
get to it?
Yeah. Oh well, I was gonna say the kind of spectrum of grift and bigotry. We didn't get to that, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. So there are some of these guys who are they're grifting but they're good at it and they're able to like convince a lot of people, even people who aren't necessarily conservatives in some cases, or at least they don't think they are. That they're honest people. They're this stuff is all real. These narratives are factual and whatnot. And they don't tip their hand to bigotry very, very much, if at all. Even though there might be some included in there, like just underlying the claims and the narratives that they're pushing, but they aren't making it very obvious. And I'm thinking of guys, I guess like Critical Drinker in that case, right? Like he's somehow people don't think that he's a right winger in some cases.
Yeah.
Mahler too. And then you got your other guys who just like are bigotry personified, like Hypnotic.
Yeah.
Who he's grifting with bigotry, but he's literally calls his fucking channel memberships the bigot army. So like there you go. There's a spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like bigotry is frequently an element of it, but yeah, there's levels.
Not all of them are, bigots. There's grifters that aren't bigots, I'm sure, if I thought about it. But it does seem to be the most lucrative grift, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking we should probably get into it.
Yeah.
Or at least let me bring it up.
we are
So
about
here we
45
have
minutes here.
yes. So here we have the tier list. And there are so far 5 tiers. Where the first one is top tier grifter, and this is, as Dane explained, just the absolute like who is the best at the skill of grifting, who is the best at hiding what they truly believe, and who's
but also
kinda
successful.
made it. Yeah, exactly.
And
like who's made it,
What was it? We'd written down like 4 things yesterday. It was like there's success, like financial success, popularity, and then there's also like we were gonna allow like for an element of creativity, like if they have some creative ability that they include in it, because some of them have just a little bit of it in there. And then there's just being able to mask the bigotry, and then like I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it just goes down like average grifter, decent, does the thing. Bad grifter, someone who's just it's pretty bad at the skill of grifting, like most people see through them. And then there's just a bigot, who is people who we believe are not being dishonest, they're not grifting, essentially. They are just
right.
Yeah. They're just bigots. And then there's irrelevant, which I thought was like some, I guess, don't really matter. Because also
I mean, I was about to say there's some bigger names on here that I might put under irrelevant. Wow.
I mean, because I also when I made this tier list, I just searched up like Phantom Menace member just to get like a baseline, and there's some in here that I didn't recognize. So if there's some that neither of us recognize, I guess we'll put them in irrelevant. But there's also others that I could see going in there. So does anyone have anything to say before we start? People know the rules, and chat is also more than welcome to take part in this. I mean, if we disagree about something, we'll probably look towards chat to make a decision.
Even though it is objective.
Even though it is subjective, but we know
true.
chat is subjective. And also Tiermaker has a shit ton of ads, so just keep in mind just enjoy these Danish ads. But
in the eventual upload, I will like cut that shit out of here.
Good idea.
But so how do we start? Do we start with the irrelevant or?
No. We start just like.
Well, no, I'd just say we just go one by one.
Like we go one by one and then choose where they go.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So Yellow Flash.
So, I was about to say, is that Yellow Flash?
Yep.
I might put him in as a bigot, but I'm not sure. Because one of the aspects I think of a lot of the bigots is that they have tendency to really just come out and say this part you aren't supposed to say. And Yellow Fash has a tendency to do that quite a bit.
And he just
I
tends
remember,
to. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like when Avatar 2 came out, he was one of the only ones that came out and said Avatar 2 is gonna flop because of Disney's woke agenda and shit like that. And it's like, and then the movie came out and made a whole bunch of money, and he had to change video titles.
Is anybody else hearing Bob cut out, or is that just my internet?
Yeah. He was cutting out a little bit there.
Oh.
Okay.
There's that part. I guess if he's changing his titles, then there is part of him that is also trying to be a grifter.
Maybe he's just a bad grifter.
Because my first thought was bad grifter, but I'm open to just a bigot.
You know what we can do is I'm going to look up the old Social Blade, and we can see how good or bad he is at grifting.
Yeah,
but we also can't make like analytics the main.
No, it's just one thing.
It is a factor, yeah.
Oh, it's not. It's definitely an element. Yeah.
Man, what is his stupid channel name? Because like it's not wanting to do it unless I type it in.
Yellow
just
Flash
right.
2.
Is it all one word? Or what?
Yellow Flash 2.
One word. Yellow Flash 2.
I'm pretty sure. Why you guys always put an extra L in there?
Sorry about that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, generally he's down. He's down 25% in subscribers for the last 30 days. He's down 9.4% in video views for the last 30 days. But overall, he's, I guess, like all of these guys, you see these peaks and valleys, and I imagine that's just YouTubers in general. But like, if you look at pretty much any anti-fans YouTube Social Blade, you're going to see over the course of a couple of years, there's a general downtrend with all of them. But yeah, he's done better than he's doing right now, and he's done worse. So
yeah, to be honest, he's also one of the ones that are still uploading pretty consistently, like multiple times a day.
Sometimes all it takes to maintain your, some spot in the algorithm, right?
Exactly. I think for now I'd be more putting him bad grifter.
Yeah.
But I don't. What are you guys leaning towards?
I'd say that or average grifter. It's fine with me.
Okay, because I was more between bad grifter or just a bigot. So I guess bad grifter is probably the middle.
Yeah, I would lean towards bad grifter or bigot. So we can go for bad grifter.
All right.
Oh, and by the way, if anybody's watching, and like if you're somebody who's watching and you're like, man, I'm a fucking grifter, I'm a bigot grifter, and I'm not on there. I'm sorry that we didn't think of you. Please email us and just say, hey, I'm a bigot and a grifter. This is my YouTube channel. You guys didn't include me, and I feel really left out. Yeah.
Well,
then we will make sure to include you and put you instantly in irrelevant.
Next up, we have Disparu.
He's definitely a grifter, I think.
Yeah.
He tries to add like an intellectual edge, almost like Sargon of Akkad, except there's essentially with his accent trying to be like intellectual about it. I'm thoughtful. I'm not just a bigot, but it's kind of the same shit. But he's not amazing by any means. What's that?
To me, he kind of screams like average grifter to me.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I would go for average.
Chat's making some good points. Bob, I don't know if you can exit and come restart your browser or something. Could pretty much every time you talk, it's just cutting out.
Let me try. Hold on.
Do we have Mahler on here? Is he on?
Yes, Mahler's on there. He's down here.
Ah, there he is. Okay. And then Mike Zero?
Oh, Mike Zero we don't actually have. Let me... Because he is a grifter.
Yeah, for sure.
He is a grifter.
We will see how that goes.
Mike Zero is not just a robot. Just a robot is just a robot. And if you look on Bob's channel, I think you got some content about that guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. I have
saw
the
your
old video, and I got a new one getting put together. Yeah.
I saw your short, and I was like, man, my reaction was much bigger than I expected it was. Like,
No,
like
I
whenever
love both you and Turf's face when he says that shit. There aren't Asians in America. What?
There's not even that many Asians in America. Like, that's the reason why they don't get cast and stuff. Like, oh my god.
And the fucking paper bag and stuff. That was a wild video. But yes, so Disparu, I'm thinking average grifter.
I'd vote for average.
He also does like reviews of stuff, you know, of like episodes. I mean, he's always choosing something that will get attention, of course. But he's, you know, there's part of him that's also trying to.
Well, he made
put up the facade.
From what I can tell, he kind of blew up during Rings of Power, right?
He did, yes.
And let's see, Steiner. That's exactly what a grifter is in this case. Like, that's just
a
grifter.
He is. I think like Mike Zero is the grifter. Like he is such a good example of a grifter.
Yeah, we talked about before one time that maybe we should one day we'll do a look into his stuff, because his content is crazy.
It is.
The types of claims that he's making and stuff, just like easily falsifiable claims about like this person said this thing to this person or whatever. And it's like, what are you even talking about? It's not sourced in anything. It's just, it's just like made up. It's like he's actually just writing fiction over there.
Yeah, is every week is Kathleen Kennedy has been fired. Bob Iger has killed George Lucas. You know, it's
I mean,
crazy fanfic over there, and he's been doing it for years, and he gets good views still, and it's and he's like he never gets targeted. Like
happy AAPI month, fuck yeah!
All right, just a robot.
Where would I want to put him?
I mean, the only thing I've ever seen of him was those like 6 minutes of his video yesterday.
Yeah.
I'd say he's
Question is he grifting or does he actually believe it? I feel like there's got to be a grift with him, so maybe average.
I mean, so like I would consider it a grift if you're just being lazy about how intellectually honest you're being too.
Yeah,
you know, and like we definitely saw that yesterday in the video that we were looking at, was him being just lazy in his response and just like saying something just to say it, and you end up making claims like what was the other fucking thing he said, but. He made a couple of claims. It's just like, what?
Yeah,
because he's just reaching for something to say.
Oh yeah, you can't be racist against Halle Bailey because she passes the brown paper bag test.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah,
the fuck? No,
definitely bigotry and racism, and also
yeah. Bro might even just be a bigot because he did not prove. there was not much of an argument when he was responding to a video calling him racist.
Man, if his goal was to prove me right, he was doing a great job.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I've also only ever seen that of him, so I don't really know much about him.
How are you a fan of us and also him? That doesn't make any sense to me. But well, you know, I mean, glad to have you, but like I don't know, maybe some stuff there that you're not addressing in your views. So yeah, I mean, bounding obviously yes, there's like. They're less YouTubers than they are website. Yeah. No. We don't have that guy. Fuck Tony. Okay.
So where are we putting just the robot?
I want to go average.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
See, but I mean, like, isn't Disparu fucking enormous? Doesn't he have like a large subscriber base? I feel like
I think he's probably comparable to just a robot.
Okay.
He has like 230,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and just a robot's 212.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of him. I'm very aware of him. I'm just not sure. I'm not familiar with what all he says and how he is and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard about him a lot.
Yeah. It's also, I think we should just, for now, there will be no more additions. Because this is already a
lot to go through, guys.
Yeah, this will take a while. We can always in the comments be like, oh yeah, it was to this person. All right. So we have a big one. Heel versus babyface.
Drop down menu guy.
Fucking pronouns.
Yeah.
God.
God.
Well, look, we know that he's not okay. He's literally become a Rippaverse shill.
Yeah. He's done
straight
that
up
grifter,
because-
no question.
Yeah, he's done that in order to, I guess, make up for the fact that his channel's not doing too well. Like he's not doing well. So I'd say he's a
He
bad
literally-
grifter. But
I don't know. He will do whatever he needs to do to get the clicks, and he will. It's not uncommon he gets it. Say what you will about the pronouns rant. It is hilarious. It is stupid, and it got clicks.
Got him clicks, yeah.
I'm not sure where to put him. I don't think bad grifter is necessarily it because he can get clicks, but he's not like amazing or anything.
are you saying that we shouldn't include people because their fans go to Kiwi Farms? Is that what you're saying? Because no, we don't operate that way. Sorry, what were we at?
Average with him?
We're at
heels versus babyface.
You know what? Average. To be fair, he has been keeping his name in the fucking discussions of things. So
yeah. I think we might have our first Just a Bigot.
Melanie
We
Mack.
have Melanie Mack.
but there's also evidence that maybe she's just a grifting too.
Yeah,
I mean, she is grifting, but
yeah,
she's doing. I think she's doing a horrible job at it.
She is. Yeah, she's
At-
one of
at
the
like-
blatant grifter or rape.
And what I feel like
Big-
Jesus has taught and what Jesus would be like. And that's not to judge people, and that's to have grace toward people and to love people. And that's where I'm at.
And then she calls people the F word and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no, she's definitely a bigot, guys. The question is, does she also go up with grifters or yeah?
I mean, here's the thing. I like, as we say, I classify pretty much all of these people as as bigots, right?
Mhm.
This
More or less,
category
yeah.
is more for like, okay, who's like the grifting is like, okay, Yellow Flash. I guess he's kind of like putting up a little bit of a case there, but it's like, especially recently, Melanie Mack, it just seems like she's gone off the rail and be like, you know what, I am a bigot. Fuck it.
She said white power the other day.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
just
exactly.
a tweet that says white power, man. That's all it said. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I think she's kind of dropping the whole grifter thing and just going with I am the bigoted.
Yeah, maybe we should just
gamer
go
girl.
bigot with her because
Yeah.
she's at under 200K, so it's
Wow.
like it's okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
there are definitely people doing better. Her gaming streams do better. But that being said, I think that's the first channel she did before she went this route.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Pool.
satisfied with just a bigot. Yeah.
He's just a grifter, I would say.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah,
straight up,
yeah.
like he is the
Yeah,
personification.
I
of
don't think he
grifting in my mind.
believes anything, but like he might
No,
be top tier. I've actually lost friends over Tim Pool. They will bring up
Yeah,
his points, and I will disprove them, and then they never talk to me again.
I can't I still can't believe that there are people who actually think he's just like a liberal who just like is tired of the way liberals are.
Yeah.
Or whatever
Yeah.
the left is. It's insane.
He is very
I
good
can't
at
believe
grifting.
anybody listens to him. He is insanely dumb, and frankly, I find him extremely boring.
He's also very fucking just cringe, man. Like, holy shit. He's so transparent to me. So many things about him, like from the beanie to the, just S tier. But he is
Yeah.
very, very fucking popular. Somehow he's very,
Unbelievably so. Yeah.
he's showing people how to do it. Basically, he's like, look, just say a bunch of bullshit that you don't mean, and keep saying it,
Yeah.
keep saying it, keep saying it. Yeah.
God.
Yep, I think
What's
we're
his
in
sub
agreement
count
there.
at?
Oh, is it like 3 or 4 million? I think something like that.
He's big.
Yeah, I think he's definitely in the millions for sure. That's got to get him up there. 1.3 million.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Wow, so Critical Drinker is bigger than him.
Yeah.
Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow.
All right. Steven
Don't spoil where
Crowder.
he's going.
Now I have a little.
Oh my god. Or you
He's
gonna say,
definitely. Sorry.
What?
You have a little what? What do you have?
I have a little inkling to put him in Just a Bigot.
He is super popular though.
However, he also was working for the Blaze, and before he kind of went out on his own, I guess, or whatever. And I think that
That is
anybody that
true.
works with the Blaze kind of just like identifies himself as a grifter to a degree.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because you're working for a grifter. I don't know.
I mean, he is massive. But it's just like I don't know how people wouldn't be able to watch his
he
content
might
and
be
be
in,
like,
like-
oh yeah, this guy's not a bigot.
Yeah, how many subs does he have? He might have multiple millions.
I think he definitely has more than Tim Pool.
Yeah.
Is that tiny icon Jonathan Frakes? I don't think so. I don't.
He's
think
at almost 6 million.
But like, I also feel like that doesn't really, because for example, like we're coming up to Elon Musk, right? Who is might be the most popular person on this list.
He's definitely a successful grifter.
Yes. I
But
mean,
he's
he
one of
used
tho-
to have a whole bunch. He used to have pretty much the liberal crowd in his pocket, and he sold Teslas to a whole bunch of liberals who were concerned about the environment. And then he decided to swing hard right with this Twitter stuff.
Yeah, like I guess I'm also going from like a standpoint. I'm like, where are they now? Because I think,
yeah,
rather than like where they've been. Because I would put Elon Musk in Just a Bigot.
But I mean, if
I
you're
think
talking
he's
about,
a pure grifter. Yeah, I mean,
you guys don't think that considering the fact that he has the potential to influence the election, that maybe he's top tier grifter?
I would put him top tier. Of course, I'd lean towards Steven Crowder as top tier as well.
Because I mean, either like he doesn't believe in anything he says.
No, not at all.
But he's also just like,
Yeah, somebody
he's-
said we might
he's
need
just
another
chosen-
tier, and I think kind of agree with that. Maybe.
Yeah, where?
Just like a perfect hybrid of bigot and grifter, right? Like that is successful
Alright.
at it, and that would be like,
Hmm.
you know, Tim Pool, and you know, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I was overthinking it. Top tier grifter who is also a bit.
I don't know if he can. We can roll with what we have. I won't worry too much.
One thing's for sure about fucking Elon Musk.
Bigot.
Oh yeah,
Thank you, Magneto, with the base cameo.
international threat. All right, so Steven Crowder.
I'd put him in top tier with almost 6 million.
Fair.
Yeah, that's pretty substantial.
All right. Drunk 3PO, I think this is.
Well, you know, yeah, like he's somebody
was
who's
one of the
brought
people
up a lot, but like I've never actually fucking covered him.
Average at best, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he was one of the ones who was just on the list when I found the list, so
I think he's
I personally choose to put him in irrelevant because
yeah, I go with that.
mean, only because he's referenced often would be my only inkling to not put him there, but I've never covered him. I've never felt the urge to cover him.
Look, if you watch that clip I uploaded last week, or that series of clips about Jeremy Griggs complaining about not having a puppet, he's in that, and that's the only time I've ever seen him say anything. And the things that he says are, his puppet doesn't talk because he doesn't say much, and then also he's like, please invite me on Friday Night Tights. He's like, I think that kind of tells us that he's a fucking irrelevant.
Yeah,
like he's only.
No one cares.
I am comfortable with that.
He's only like they're talking about him, and he's only part of this, you know, the thing on the tier maker website because he at one point was part of the large fucking, you know, grouping of people that called themselves the Fandom Menace, and he's still just kind of like hanging on there, like
yeah,
based
for
on
dear life.
nostalgic vibes of, you know, you remember me, guys? I'm still here.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like Greg.
All right.
I was wondering who the heck that was.
And then we have Elon Musk, and I do agree.
Yeah.
Top tier
Top
grifter.
tier. Yeah.
Because he does not believe in anything he says. He's just gone to whatever bandwagon would want him. But almost just like he's also just fallen from grace in that regard. Like you said, he used to have that whole appearance of like, oh, I'm working for the planet, you know, I'm the cool guy and stuff, and that's just shattered. But he is very
not
influential.
completely, because there are still people that aren't even right wingers that still see him that way.
True.
You know, I mean,
True.
maybe there.
And I mean, that's kind of a grift as well. So I recently got Consumer Reports magazine because I was researching getting a new car because I had to get a new car. Teslas are like the worst reviewed cars out there. There's very
have you
few
seen
worse.
Have you seen any of the Cybertrucks? The rollout of those, like the first ones are just they're like falling apart. They have like sharp edges. Like you can cut off a baby's arm with the fucking trunk kind of thing. Like it's so like edged.
Yeah, they were designed by Jawas, weren't they?
Yeah, something like that.
They're
He
like
used to be Tony
ugliest
Stark.
people
Now
ever.
he's just Obadiah Stane. No, he's Justin Hammer.
Oh,
It's
Dice
definitely
is way cooler. Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, I think I'm just like Tony Stark, right? So that he does something and it like falls apart and it sucks and everybody's annoying. That's definitely
for sure. All right. Doomcock.
So
irrelevant.
Doomcock, Doomcock, I would actually say
Yeah.
he used to be relevant, but he's kind of made himself irrelevant. Number one, he started early, which is the only reason I think he has any audience. But like the whole stick with the mask and shit, I think that's dated.
He was too cringe for that. And
it's
plus he got
dumb.
exposed. There's a video on the Shillclips channel, which by the way, it's called the Shillclips channel now. You should subscribe to that. That's where we put, guess what we put there? Clips from this Shillcast. But yeah, he's been exposed. Like he was just without a question exposed as fucking taking random posts from 4chan and making videos about it. And they baited him and he fell for the bait. Then they did it again and he fell for it again. It's just Ketwalski, you know, fucking salute you, man. He's not doing YouTube anymore, I don't think, but man,
You did a good job.
yeah. And actually 108 people watching. So with that in mind,
Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video. And if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture.
This leak continued.
That sums him up. So a few years ago, he won't have been higher on this list. Now he's irrelevant.
Yeah. This next one, do you guys recognize this?
Who is it?
Logo. Welcome to the
I don't recognize
Rebellion. It was one of the ones that was just on here. So maybe I'll just put it further down. Maybe the comments know.
I mean, definitely irrelevant.
Yeah. Eric July. Oh, this is a big one.
He's a tricky one too, because like, if it wasn't for the whole Ripaverse shtick, he would just be an average grifter, I think.
I'm not even sure how genuine any of the Ripaverse stuff is. It's all very shady shit. That being said, all of that, like, I think he goes in the top 2. I'm not sure where though.
You know what's weird is I kind of feel like he belongs in every category.
Yeah, I could stick him anywhere easily.
You can make a good argument for anywhere.
I could make an argument that he's irrelevant. Chat, what do you guys think? I see a vote for
probably leaning most towards average because YouTube wise he's doing like great and stuff, but he is working with the Blaze. He does have the Ripaverse, you know.
Well, so the thing is like, for example, he was on the fucking Hypnotic podcast the other night, which is, you know, it's not the biggest thing in the world at all. And I'm sure he goes on other streams and stuff because he's trying to win favor, but he lost a lot of audience. with the split with Ethan Van Sciver. You know, like there was most people went away from Rippaverse and towards Ethan in that split, from what I could tell.
Yeah.
Like I saw almost nobody. I mean, now I'll see them popping up here and there, but when it was really going on, like for the vast majority of shit that I saw were people like saying fuck Eric July and, you know, all this stuff. And like, I saw almost nobody saying this, the opposite. And so he lost a good amount of people there. And then, but he's got that inorganic, you know, Blaze Media Foundation. And, you know, he has access to those types of, you know, he can go on those channels, connect with the Blaze and get audience from there and whatnot. But then like, he's really good. Oh my God. Sorry. People think that Eric's he's not a good storyteller, and that's not true. The story that he's really good at telling and convincing people of is that he is like this massively successful fucking, you know, the Rippaverse is huge and stuff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he has been losing, you know, actually, I have a clip. We have a couple of clips. Do you guys want to take a pause and look at some Eric? I think it's worth it to kind of nail this down.
All right.
So
we should have. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Let's do it.
Well, while I'm getting the new one, I'm going to play some of these classics here.
What's the problem with the new legacy characters though? Because legacy characters
What is
are
a
a
new,
comic
what do you
book
mean by
tradition.
new legacy character? What do you mean new legacy character? Are
You
you talking
understand-
about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply
I
a
am
character.
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
What? No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
He is. He's that dumb.
So
yeah.
real quick, like I always have to tell people, just quick Google search. I literally just
You've
go to
read
Google.
Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Pause it.
I just go to Google, type in legacy character. A legacy hero is a type of character, usually a superhero, that is a descendant or relative of an already previously existing hero who either inherits or adapts the name and attributes of the original. It's right there. Just type in legacy character.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, so then the reason that that's relevant, by the way, as well as I think the next one, the one that's about to play, is because he presents himself as this comic book expert, and like he's just like a comic book genius or whatever the hell.
I want to stress another thing that kind of shows the grifter aspect of him is when I brought up legacy characters, his first thing was, you mean knockoff characters? And then he reframed it as if legacy characters were like the classic characters. Changing, like, you know, before he understood legacy characters were the descendants, but now it's like, oh, no, wait, now I got to reframe this.
Exactly. Yeah, because the point of him there is just to deny that there's any legitimacy to characters like Miles Morales, or literally Miles Morales in that case, to the point where he does actually, got to give him credit that he eventually does. You press him on like Jay Garrick, I mean, and Barry Allen and Wally West, and he's like, he does kind of like say that, like, no, they're kind of knockoff characters too. Not Jay Garrick, but like, you know, Barry Allen is kind of a knockoff character.
Allen,
And that's, hey man, that's dedication, I guess.
Yeah.
You're willing to throw the fucking Flash under the bus. You know, he's been around since the goddamn 60s and act like he's some kind of like affront to the character of the Flash or whatever, the mantle of the Flash. I don't know.
Well, he kind of has to, otherwise it kind of exposes how wildly inconsistent his views are. So, you know, you got to throw Hal Jordan and God, now I want to say Jay Garrick again. Barry Allen under the bus.
Which is why he was so mad that he, you know, did his whole thing that he did.
Yeah. So where are we putting Eric?
Well, hold on, because we got, let's see.
Yeah, there were some more clips.
this is just him talking about his business. He was asked a question. So,
Stray Beans for $7.99 says, is Eric concerned about the dramatic downward trend in total purchases for each of his campaigns? A loss of 32K customers between 3 campaigns.
I'll answer that.
What do you guys think he's going to say?
Probably bring up the numbers because he was able. I think the numbers, the dollar amount was higher for Yaira than,
yeah.
Than
I don't think you should look at it like customers like that.
I don't think you should look at it like customers like that. That just goes to show. No, sorry.
I was just gonna say, Eric July. When I talk to him, he doesn't talk about having fans. He talks about having customers,
purchasers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like right here, he literally like, look, man, you just care about money. That's all you care about. It's clear. He only cares about money. It's insane to me because like he doesn't even understand that. Okay, like let's say I'm okay. You just want to make money. You want to make a bunch of money. You want to win the culture war, or whatever. You need to have a larger number of customers than what is the shrinking number that he's got. Right? Like you can't. I don't know how he thinks that that's sustainable or that that's anything that's going to do anything but make him some money and develop this little cult group around him. And it's like, cool, good for you, I guess. But you know, and he actually in another clip that I saw, he does think of himself as over a long period of time he's going to, you know, eventually be competing with Marvel and DC and shit. It's insane.
And I want to stress, real quick, if the Rippaverse fans out there, I want you to honestly just ask yourself, if you picked up Isom off a comic book shelf, no context, you don't know what it is, it's just a blind book, blind purchase you're picking up. If you picked it up at a comic book shop, do you think you'd enjoy it? Just ask yourself that.
With our books, they're different properties. So when Spider-Man outsells the Punisher, nobody says there's a loss in customers.
Okay, you fucking idiot. God damn, he's stupid. Okay, so Bob, I see what you're saying. I have a counter to that. Yes, he does get a lot of real estate in the discourse, but however, often it is because he's an idiot and a lol cow.
Yeah, it's kind of because he exposes it a lot, which knocks him down.
Yeah.
Actually, the really big ones don't expose it so much.
Like I believe that Eric July, has done net good, positive in terms of like helping us expose grift.
Yeah.
Because of just how he doesn't shut up. He doesn't think before he says things. He just says whatever he needs to say in the moment to kind of like what he thinks he's got to say. And it's like it opens him up so much to just hypocrisy and to reveal that he's dishonest. But here's the thing about what he just said. So it's like saying Punisher. Hold on, let's rewind it because man, that is something that he says.
And real quick, I'm okay buying time here to give DJ a bit more time to get here.
Yes.
Sells the Punisher, nobody says there's a loss in customer.
So when Spider-Man outsells the Punisher, okay. So that what's he saying there? He's saying that what? Isom is more popular,
less popular than other guys.
Isom is more popular than Alpha Core, right? Because that sold more.
I guess so. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, they're comparing the wrong way, which he does all the time. It's if Spider-Man outsells the Punisher, which is just going to happen generally. But then let's say Spider-Man comes out an issue, and then Punisher comes out. It doesn't do as well as Spider-Man. Then the next issue of Spider-Man comes out, and it does worse than the Punisher did. That would be more like what his shit has been doing so far. Okay, because Isom number 2, we haven't that he put Isom 1 and 2 came out back to back, so we don't have anything between an Isom release yet. But I'm willing to bet that Isom number 3 is it'll be revealing.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. That being said, it's pure grift at this point.
Pure grift.
Right? Nobody words it like that by any means. So no, I'm not at all. I wouldn't call it a dramatic downward trend at all because we made more money in 2023 than we made in 2020.
Whoa, what's crazy is that the comic book industry makes more money every year than it did the year previous. And yet they look at the total units sold whenever they want to talk shit on the comic book industry because a lot of times the units sold is fewer. And then they don't look at the graphic novel sales and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, they always pick and choose whatever chart will make them look better too. Graphic novel, floppies, whatever works. We can be picky. Let's look at manga.
Right.
Why?
Right.
So I mean, I guess he would be top tier. But
I mean, I don't know because I just quickly need to go to the bathroom. But so what conclusion have you made? Because I'd probably personally say average, but
can we hold off on him until DJ gets here?
Yeah, DJ
Sure.
might have a vote because I really don't want to put him in top tier, but I guess
Yeah.
the more I'm hearing, I'm like, oof, maybe.
I don't think
Well,
he's
it's
top
like-
tier. I don't
He's definitely
think he's
not the
relevant
most
enough.
talented. He doesn't make the best content, and I don't like anybody's content, and I don't
Yeah, but
think he's the most
top.
influential, but
I think top tier because
Yeah.
Elon Musk does not.
he might be the most astroturfed.
You have to
Yeah.
think. You have to consider. You have to factor in our algorithmic silo. Like we talk about this specific comic book fandom stuff a lot, so we're
Yeah.
gonna end up seeing stuff and talking about Eric July more. Like, but objectively, Elon Musk is far more popular than he is, and
Elon Musk, Steven Crowder, and Tim Pool are way more.
they
noteworthy
dwarf
than he
him.
is, that's
And
I
he's
mean,
he's already pretty small. Because he's like a little guy.
Also, just compared to like someone like Desparo, which is in terms of YouTube wise, Eric July isn't on like his level, for example. Like Eric July does not get that same kind of attention. He has the Rippaverse, of course, and I guess it's also interesting because I'm out of us three and even DJ, right? I'm the one who doesn't really know much about comics, So and it's the same with Ethan as Guyver. I probably have a different opinion on this than you guys, but it's like I've only, I think once like voluntarily wanted to like dedicate a segment or a video to Eric July. I've only talked about it once in a video, and when it's brought up on streams, it's like it comes from you guys. So I'm gonna give this decision to you because
but what you're saying proves the point that I was just making, though, right? Like that you have to be, kind of focused on this stuff for it to be such a big deal to talk about him often. Anyway, I think probably average drifter.
Yeah,
is
average
gonna
is
be where he
probably
ends up,
accurate.
but-
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers. I'd personally
almost wanna
say
say-
bad grifter. Because
I'd almost want to say he's perfect. Oh, go ahead. Sure.
he used to be like the GOAT.
Yeah.
Of grifters. Right? He used to be up there as like the top tier grifter. But he's kind of just given up on it.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I meant to show one more Eric July thing before we moved
no
on.
worries.
All right, just for anybody that's wondering, like why, where can we? The most definitive thing of like, oh, okay, yeah, he's dishonest shithead. It's this.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
Talking about Peter Darker.
Fun fact: Eric used to like the character, even saying he's more than just a black Peter Parker, but he changed his tune when he found out he could make more money pandering to racist comic book fans who hate Miles Morales.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Did you used to like him? Not judging or whatever. Just curious.
No.
Do you like Miles Morales then?
No.
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Talking about Peter Darker.
But Miles is an exception, make no mistake.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
And it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
I think it's fucking hilarious that there's like pretty much every statement that he made there's like he countered it previously.
Yeah.
It's like, it's amazing. Anyway.
I mean, he's definitely a grifter, and he's a good grifter, and he's done a lot. And like if I was to put him up against, it's
all good.
Like if I was to put him up against the others in average grifter, it's like I think YouTube wise now, like like Disparrow, for example, beats him, but he also has like the whole Ripperverse stuff. So I guess we can wait until DJ gets here.
Yeah, well, Eric has more subs, but I'm pretty sure Disparrow gets more engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably even has too.
But yeah, I suspect that as well. So Jeremy Griggs. So I have a video clip for Jeremy Griggs here.
I actually have the truncated version of Ed's video that he made on this. If you'd like, because I think that's probably the timeline version. You know what I mean? Where, because I see what you've got. You've got the when he was on EFAP, right?
Yeah.
I've got this thing that is, I don't know, just it kind of just shows a good bit of the whole thing, right? It was from Ed's video.
The numerous times he is kind of just said the quiet part out loud.
It's the timeline, yeah, where you like literally see him video by video trying to decide if he wants to be a grifter or not.
Yeah.
It's
Can I
like
just talk about One Piece, guys.
This
Release of The Last Jedi. Jeremy Griggs released a glowing review. It has since been taken down. This is the only surviving clip.
I love The Last Jedi, and I think it did a damn good job for being what it needed to be for Star Wars.
It's not that hard to figure out. I like The Last Jedi. I think I've made like 3 fucking reviews on it, and I'm still trying to figure out where I stand on this movie. But I'm a mess when it comes to this movie because I just can't figure out how I ultimately feel.
I'm a mess because I've got like I actually have some sense of ethics and morals right now, but I feel this money is calling me, man. It's really fucking calling me.
No, I remember when the last.
As I'm sitting here right now.
Here, hold on.
So
I was on YouTube. I remember when The Last Jedi came out. I did a pretty glowing review of it, and people were like in my comments being like, "No, that movie was shit. That movie was shit." And my response was to do a video defending it. Talk about, guys, there's lots of depth to this movie. I feel like you guys are missing for like cheap shots for no reason. Yeah, there are little things you can complain about, but like there's some cool stuff in this movie to really examine. Because my goal was to kind of shift the conversation, not just say what people want me to say. Is that weird?
And to address this, actually, he did say he liked it. He implied that by saying that there is that he's got his own backstory, his own thing. Like he's saying there are positive things about the character. Now, that might not mean the same thing as like he likes the character, but actually, you know what, man, you had to do it because I got something I can show here. He did like the character. He fucking did, and I've got definitive proof of that. Just get that shit pulled up here. Where is that image?
No, and yeah, I do think it's interesting how loud these guys have gone about Miles Morales, ignoring the fact that like there have been lots of different Spider-Man besides Peter Parker. Miguel O'Hara and both Ben Reilly were both from the 90s. And I know there's got to be older ones than that. Miles Morales just happens to be the new one. Oh, and he's black. And all of a sudden, everybody's enraged.
Here we go.
What a twist.
Okay. So this is November 2nd, 2020.
That is a Miles Morales hat. The unambiguous Spider-Man Miles Morales hat.
I mean, look, granted, it's possible that he just didn't realize that this was a Miles thing, but in that case, he's just showing that he's not the comic book.
Then he's not. Then he's not a comic book.
Not even a casual, really. He's just a fucking tourist.
As a casual, I could recognize that. Yeah.
So there you go. Literally had a fucking Miles Morales hat at one point. He's also got Miles Morales comics in graded, as he showed off one time whenever we were challenging him. He, did a video. He's like, "Look, I got these Miles comics right here." Anyway, okay, sorry.
It's a cringe shirt too.
Yeah, vote and die. Well, you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah,
like everybody's gonna die. Chill out.
All right.
Oh. Well, we got some more Jeremy, don't we?
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
No worries.
All right. Yeah.
The Last Jedi.
As the backlash over The Last Jedi grew, channels like Nerdrotic and Doomcock saw an opportunity to capitalize, fanning the flames of geek rage. And after years of putting in hard work into a channel that rarely fostered more than a couple hundred views, Jeremy couldn't resist.
Not to sound like a dick, but I just don't care. I mean, there's 400 people watching this stream. If one of them knows my name now that didn't know it before, it's a success for me. At the end of the day, I have tried to build Geeks and Gamers by doing it the structured way, the methodical way, the think it out, prep it, take notes, think about everything you're going to say, and it fucking failed miserably on me. The day that I started doing what I'm doing right now, which is what you're, having a problem with, is the day that I started becoming successful.
Follow trends, although you literally say,
I just
created trending before I make a video, something I
just created a One Piece discussion right now. I just created one for the past 5 minutes.
One Piece was used, but we didn't talk about it.
No. Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing, and then we build the narrative out of it. Don't act like that's not what we do.
I talked about
says one fucking thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
Shout out for intro
That
audio
is
clip
a
that
good
we
one.
had in our intro. I mean, honestly, that just makes it such a banger intro. Every single week, Grig's starting us out like that. It just gets you on a high note. I think,
Yeah.
So there's no question in my mind. Griggs is absolutely a grifter. Just what tier grifter?
For sure.
He has definitely lost relevance over time.
Yeah.
I would still kind of lean towards average, but on the bottom end of average.
Real quick, I just wanted to make sure that we shout out Pop Counterculture.
Yeah, Pop Counterculture
for
is
sure.
excellent. Go give him some love, guys. He should be in the
Great channel.
description box.
Yep.
My main thing for putting Jeremy in bad grifter would be that if we are looking at it now,
Yeah, he's losing relevance.
yeah, and he also kind of he's half-assing it,
He is.
Well, he's always half-assed it.
I have something else we can look at.
Yes, but even for his standards, I feel like
Yeah,
he's just
true.
doing the whole he's admitting to things now. That's being a bad grifter. He's just going on there. Dane, do you have that clip of him saying, or like him and Ryan Cannell watching the Fallout trailer?
Yeah.
I don't think I have that edited, but I do have it.
No, it's. I mean, basically, where he's just like every time a person of color comes on screen, he just like screams that they're not white or like diversity or some shit. It's just, to me, it's just even lazier than usual. And if this had been even a year ago, I think you'd put him in average. But it seems like he's losing steam. But I also wouldn't put him in irrelevant yet.
Give me just a minute to find that thing.
Hold on.
It is here.
Here, I just gotta be careful, but here we go.
To
Oh,
try
wait.
to
God damn it, no.
communicate.
Here we go. Okay.
Holy fuck of the diversity.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
Oh my god, the diversity.
People are going to come after you.
Look out at this wasteland.
Diversity.
Wow.
Classy.
Literally just anybody that's like slightly darker than pink.
Yeah.
And he just like screams
Yeah.
diversity.
Diversity.
But it's
Oh,
not
this
racist,
diversity
guys. That's
looking
not
at a little
racist.
black child.
That's not, yeah. Yeah, like Jeremy Griggs, like there might have even been a time where I'd consider him top tier grifter. Possibly when I was like
Yeah.
first starting, it felt like he was like a big pipeline guy. But honestly, he's lost that to somebody who I'm certain we're going to bring up later.
Same man. Where you been, man? I know I see you pretty active in some Chud chats, and then I don't see you very active around here very often until suddenly you're like, oh, they're not black in the comics. Man, I gotta tell you, I thought I had you pinned as a little bit not so chuddy before. So I don't know what's going on, man. If you want to talk sometime, we should talk. Maybe I got you pegged wrong. I don't know.
But I think bad grifter an argument can be made.
I'm thinking like for right now, I would say it's not really doing the grifting job very good.
I just don't like seeing black people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like I remember it's hilarious and also messed up that I remember when Rings of Power was out and they're like, it's supposed to be escape, it's supposed to be, it was like, wait, so you're saying you want to escape black people? Is that what you're saying? Like,
that's so weird. All right, John F. Trent.
Just
you see, I would say I might have considered him higher up back in the day, but he's kind of he sold off Bounty into comics, and
I'm thinking
irrelevant since then. Yeah,
it's either just a bigot or irrelevant, I'd say.
Oh, see, I was thinking the other guy when you said John F. Trent. I was thinking the other one, and I'm like, oh, just a Holocaust denier. But no, I don't know if John F. Trent is a Holocaust denier too.
No, yeah.
6 months ago, I might have put him pretty high up, but now it's either just a bigot or irrelevant at this point.
I'm probably more for putting it in irrelevant. What are you thinking, Dane?
I'm thinking that this comment is fucking silly. Because it doesn't undermine the franchise or the mythos, and it actually, we're not going to get into it, but man, it's just a silly ass take. I'd say if he still has any sway over bounding into comics, then he's definitely trying to be relevant again. He's trying to build up this fart place website as another farting into comics. But I mean, I'd say just a bigot because of just like how much homophobia he does. Just like
that's true.
That is true.
Biblical based homophobia.
I'm down with that. All right. This is Ethan Van Sciver, right?
All caps comics? Yes.
That's what you guys said yesterday.
Comic artist pro secrets. Am I coming in?
Yeah. I'm going to let you guys take this one. I guess Dane isn't there.
I don't know. So Ethan Van Sciver is definitely not one of the more popular guys on here. That being said, he is the leader of Comicsgate, and he was kind of my entry point in discovering this whole fucking anti-woke toxic community that is festering YouTube. That is just all over the place now.
He used to be pretty relevant.
Yeah. And he is still relevant to a degree. He gets he has a fraction of Eric's sub count, but he on average gets much better views.
I think that there's an unknown, unquantified amount of people who tune into Ethan Van Sciver the same way that people used to in the 90s. They would say that people watch Howard Stern or listen to Howard Stern because they hated him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's some of that because he's just so well known as do what?
I was gonna say, I have issues with Howard Stern, but he's way cooler than Ethan. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure where I'd put him. I don't think I'd put him any higher than average, even though he's leader of comics.
Well, let's take a look at this again real quick, just to kind of remind us, keep this fresh.
Oh, Dane, take my hand. I will lead you to salvation.
I mean, that's a pretty big soy rage that he just pulled. Can't
believe he did that.
Bob just do it too? Did Bob do a soy rage now?
Oh, jeez. Damn.
Oh my god, get it together, Ethan. Jesus, dude. Fucking emotional little crybaby, man.
Yes, what happened, Bob?
I disconnected my camera during my soy rage.
All right. So I mean, okay, so no
That's
way.
true, man. I'll
near
say
top
what
tier.
I'll say. I've said all kinds of fucking shit about Ethan Van Sciver, but I've always said also that like there is a charisma to the man, and I fucking hate that that's true. And he's also right a lot.
There
That's
is.
part of the reason I know he's a grifter in some cases. Because when he talks about Eric July, he says a lot of things that are just true and right and correct. And like, but yeah. I feel like top tier should be in. That's an interesting point. That is a. Let's look back at the list here.
Yeah. I don't know if institutional power is quite it, but like definitely a level of influence higher than EVS, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've given like you, because I've never covered EVS, you know, and then, so like I've given you guys the reins for this, but like I would find it quite shocking if we put him anywhere near a top tier grifter. Like for right now,
and like I said, I think it's funny. He's the first one I covered.
I don't know if DJ is going to show up or not, but if he does and he wants to counter any of this, we can always adjust based on new.
Well, I actually wouldn't mind figuring out what's up with StreamYard and why the stream's not going on his channel. By the way, guys, go subscribe to AirrickDebunks. The stream's not going to his channel. I have no idea why, because everything on StreamYard's end says it's going through, so it's really confusing me.
Yeah, I don't see it. That's weird.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Because if I look on StreamYard's end, it's broadcasting. There's zero people watching, which is kind of telling. Oh yeah, and back to EVS, the dude can't like deliver a comic book worth of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is my Jake Sunrise comic book. The campaign ended like 10 days ago or whatever. Already got it in my hand. Fucking great.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, so you definitely put him higher than like the tier of Yellow Flash, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that Ethan is a grifter in that he's not an idiot. So he has to understand that whenever he's talking about the comics are bad and everybody hates them and stuff, that's just objectively untrue. That there are people who buy comics and that they're not like on death's door. There was the time that I debunked him because he made the claim that if this was in early 2020, he made a claim saying, bounding into comics and stuff covered it. If DC's event that they were planning on doing at that time, what the hell is that beeping? Sorry, there's some kind of beeping going on outside of my apartments or something. If the 5G event, which was what they were planning at the time, was not successful, they were going to stop printing comic books. They were going to stop making comics. Okay, that was his claim, and I challenged it then. And I said, I don't think this is true because, for one, it's Ethan, and he doesn't provide any evidence. He just says he talked to some executive or something at DC or some shit. Time goes on, and for one thing, the 5G event did not happen because Dan DiDio, that was his thing, he got fired. What they did instead was a Future State, I believe. And at that point, it sold pretty okay. I don't think it was like the best thing ever, but it wasn't a failure either. Nonetheless, DC obviously did not stop printing comic books. And I made a video where I said, look, he was wrong. And he actually showed up to my channel and was like, oh, it turns out I was right because, look, these people got fired from DC or whatever. I'm like, that's not what you fucking said, man. That's not what you said. You're just changing. He changes the goalposts. He changes the conditions of what he said in the first place. None of what he said happened. And yet he still will fucking, like a pigeon playing chess, right? Like, going to knock over the pieces, take a shit on the board, and claim victory. And I think that is grift. I think that he's dishonestly, just for the sake of maintaining his illusion of being a guy who knows something. I mean, look at the name of his channel, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Like, at first in his channel life, he did know some stuff because he was fresh out of the industry. He doesn't know shit anymore. He doesn't know shit what's going on behind the scenes or anything. You know what I mean? Like, The closest he got was Gabe Eltabe fucking, tipping him off that they were going to make Superman bisexual, and that's all he's had. Anyway, he's a grifter.
So where are we putting them?
What are you talking about, Ivor? What fucking franchise are you even talking about? If you want to have a discussion with me, you're welcome to on Friday. Come on my stream, and we can have a chat about whatever it is that you think that I'm so wrong about. There's my email. Email me. We'll set it up. It'll be nice. We'll have a nice little chat.
All right, so I'm still I would lean towards average for EVS because he is he doesn't get views as much as the other guys, but he a lot of what he does is just collecting super chats too, and he gets a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, he gets
more
more views.
you know why Ethan's a grifter? Because he says he acts like he's a comic book creator, and he's produced 3 comics in fucking 5 years,
and people believe him. Yeah. I think that's good.
And also, AWOL thoughts. I mean, quality is subjective. There are a lot of people that, and myself included, who really like what's going on with DC Comics right now. You probably haven't actually read them in some time and are still just kind of basing it on this general vibes of oh, everybody says it sucks now, so it sucks now. A lot of good stuff going on in DC right now. So.
All right. Hypnotic.
Go to the beginning of the stream, AWOL Thoughts. We explain all of it there, so you can go there and listen. Yeah. Hypnotic is just a fucking grifter bigot.
yeah, I'd go for Griff, maybe just a bigot on him. Yeah.
All right. Endymion TV.
Just a grifter.
Just a grifter.
There's levels of grifter. He might be mid tier, and he's coming up.
He's actually an average grifter. He's doing.
He gets good views.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. During the Chud Apocalypse, he's one of the few that's growing, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah. He's doing pretty good for himself. Mauler.
Ooh.
Griggets.
So with Mahler, I do think there's a degree of almost like grifting himself. Like he almost believes that he's objective and he's capable of analyzing this stuff purely, and there's a degree of self-deception, I honestly think, with Mahler. And I'm probably showing beginning into his actual mindset because I have no idea. I do know he's full of shit on a regular basis and acts like he isn't, and he has a fan base who just kind of go with his confidence, despite the fact that he's unambiguously wrong.
Generally, I hang out at home, Chris Bacon. So, I hope you're not able to find out where that is. If you wanted to meet up, that could maybe be something. But yeah.
But what are your guys' thoughts on Mahler?
I pretty much agree with what you said. Mahler is he's dishonest, but mainly I feel like to himself. Like that clip that I of Az, where he's just describes what a trailer is, right? I feel like Mahler has to hold his tongue a lot, and I feel like that's where the clip is internally, is he's not just going, oh man, this guy's a fucking idiot. Why am I talking to this guy? Because I don't know what internal motivation makes him do that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's tough because
tangent. The Wonder Woman line on DC right now is amazing.
No, okay. So here's some information that I came across recently. It's not really based on anything tangible that I can prove or anything. It's just a thing that I saw, and I'm going to have to look more into it. We'll have to look more into it another time. But there was somebody that was saying that like there was a point that Mahler was a mod for some kind of server that like intentionally was like allowing Nazis and shit like that, and I don't know, something like that. And look, man, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that I saw it being said, and it's made me start to think that what if he's actually a very good grifter?
He could be,
like that.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of been stuck in my mind a little bit since then.
A lot of the EFAP stuff almost like, especially like they have that huge, like almost like biblical thing. And I almost feel a lot of it had to be started as like a joke. And then they just rode with it because they got these fans that would just follow it. And then to a degree, like how long can you keep up something like that and then start not just believing it yourself? It gets really weird with him. It does. There's very much a cult mentality with his fan base. Hardcore.
Yeah, true. It's impenetrable.
He's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I also think like
I wouldn't put him top tier just because of raw
become...
popularity. He doesn't get top tier for that.
Yeah, that's like I think maybe we have to start like thinking of like top tier grifter in like two different senses, because it's like you
think about.
I think average is the highest most of these guys can get.
Think about how many people you see saying things that are just ideas that pretty much EFAP has popularized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a lot. That they're the bad writing thing, which I also think is critical drinker. It's yeah. Think about the cultishness of and how like just like it is guaranteed that like now that we're actually talking about Mahler, I'm surprised we haven't already seen somebody pop up in chat.
They're probably looking for a chat they aren't blocked in. Oh, I need to get in there. I need to get in there.
Oh, they're waiting for the thing to go. Oh yeah, well, when did Mahler say blah 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 blah?
Yeah,
that's usually their entry point.
Did you forget about the time you looked to see if you'd be bigoted in Doctor Strange?
I mean, Bob, to be fair, dude, you did look to see if he was going to be homophobic. You know,
true. Yeah,
and I think that was uncalled for. I don't think there was any reason to do that. Like, it's not like he had ever given any like reason to like think, hey, maybe he's going to be a bigot in this video or something like that. When has he ever done that? When has he?
True. Yeah.
Ever?
He's never done that.
Biding my time to find the thing here. When has he ever done that?
Yeah, he has never ever done that, guys. I don't know.
Where is it? It's here somewhere. I know it.
I'm not looking for anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, listen, there's no evidence of Mahler being a bigot. It just doesn't happen. Okay.
Like, yeah, in order for you to justify going and looking for him to be a homophobic in that video, you'd have to have some like, you know, preliminary reason. Like, I suspect he might. And it just doesn't exist, guys. It just doesn't.
Yeah. Shit. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. This is homophobic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Bigot man bad.
Well, I mean, it's not like he regularly streams with people who are bigots. I mean,
no.
Rags, Neurotic. These are classy guys.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, Reggie. I mean, it does have a meaning. It just like it gets way too much discussion in these discussions about art. That's for sure.
I think an argument could be made that Mahler and Az are similar, but they come at it from very different angles. Mahler comes at it from a faux intellectual standpoint, where Az comes at it from a
real dumb
standpoint. Yeah,
like an authentic idiot.
Kind of similar points of success, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably frustrating to think about, especially for Mahler. Anyway, Sorry about the slurs, guys, but you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So smaller.
Smaller. Yes.
Smaller.
Molding.
Yeah, smaller.
By the way, guys, and look, thank you for doing this, because please, out of complete and utter disrespect of his shit, do not capitalize the L. I don't ever want to see the L capitalized in chat ever. Okay.
In fact, keep the M small too. He just doesn't.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make the R capitalized. You know why? You guys know. You get it. You know why. Mahler is he kind of defies categorization, but with that said, he's about at the level of between average grifter and top tier grifter.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Like if there was a,
I'd be more like, Cause I feel like, because it's also different when it comes to like the typical YouTube like fandom grifters compared to like these who are like very relevant, like big time, like political grifters, you know.
But I do think that he's had a bit of an outsized effect compared to his platform. That's kind of why that's why I feel like he does bleed into that category just a little bit.
Yeah, like the EFAP fans are definitely way more vocal and out there than honestly possibly anyone I can think of.
Well, and then also I think the EFAP fans they proselytize to a degree that they create influence in people that aren't necessarily even big EFAP fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think part of it is because they're so convinced that they're right, that like if you're like coming at me with like information that disproves me, that just makes you bad faith or something, and that makes them more bold than a lot of these other guys.
That's not any conversation that I agreed to have with you in particular specifically. I mean, I would say that the movie didn't damage anything. Honestly, I would argue that the Rise of Skywalker did more damage than Last Jedi.
Do you want to know what's damaged the Star Wars brand more than a lot of things that people don't talk about? The goddamn holiday special. That thing is garbage.
But I mean, you know what? I actually would have this discussion with you, Ivor. I believe that you are not taking in some super relevant context. You know, I would, if you want to know what that is, I don't know, read Rewriting Ripley. But otherwise, I can explain it to you sometime. Be happy to. Anyway.
All right. I'm fine with putting him in top tier.
Yeah.
Just I think there's like there's different types of top tier grifters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we have to allow for that, or we're just being
smart. Otherwise it's gonna be the same types of channels we're up here, you know.
Look, this is science, guys. This is how you do science. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. This is how you do objectivity.
Exactly. All right. I'm gonna start going a little bit quicker just because I do not have.
Yeah, we kind of covered Geeks and Gamers because that and Jeremy Briggs are all together, and it's really irrelevant at this point. Yeah.
You know what we might do, Chris Bacon? Like once we get everybody sorted away, we might do just take the top tier and break that down, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
right?
That could be fun.
I don't know who this is. She was there when I. Oh well. All right, Robot Head.
Oh God, I haven't covered him in a little bit. That's right. He had a really bad take on Across the Spider-Verse.
He did.
Last time I looked at him,
he was one of the only ones who
he's an kind of idiot. Yeah.
Like he kind of didn't do the whole this movie that we're calling woke is actually good now. Let's change our narrative. No, he actually just stayed on it.
I mean,
he kept calling it woke.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know where you get the claim that they're the highest super chat channels in the world, but otherwise it is a valid point. That they do make a lot of money from super chats. You know, I mean, I guess you could say they're still monetizing a lot of the same pool of audience that they've had for a while, is what I think. And it's a lot of the same people. I don't think they're really gaining a whole lot. But anyway, I'd say, yeah, I don't even know fucking anything about this guy.
We can put him in.
Well, I guess as Turf and I have covered him before. He does lots of really bad Star Wars takes, like egregiously bad.
Yeah. He has a decent sized following, but he also doesn't really have any impact.
Yeah.
On any like wider discussion. So I'm fine with Irrelevant, to be honest.
I could go with Irrelevant on him, yeah.
Now we come to another one that I'd probably also label irrelevant. It's Dave Cullen.
Yeah, he's kind of an interesting one. Like he has some numbers. Like his videos do okay, and then and he does this faux intellectual thing with this cute little anime avatar he uses.
Yeah,
but like, there's never any discussion when I go over his videos. Nobody seems to care, and he lies. Like he is pure grifter. He lies,
but also he's bigoted, right?
But,
like,
I'm
they
sure
all are.
That's under the intellectual thing, yeah. But
by the way,
there's a degree of irrelevance with him, yeah.
I just wanted to say that Ivor, I put you in timeout because I agreed to have a discussion with you on stream, and yet you're still just like we're typing bullshit in chat. After you already agreed to have a conversation on stream, like when you come back when the time up is done, I appreciate if you respect the fact that we're doing this content right now and we're not trying to have that conversation. Respect my ADHD because I will get pulled into that conversation and derail it for these fine gentlemen. So you want to do that Friday? We can do that Friday. That's all.
All right, the big one.
Who is this fellow? I've never heard of this fellow.
I'd say irrelevant.
Yeah,
totally irrelevant.
Oh, that's that Critical Gamer guy. He's got a new channel.
Critical Gamer.
No,
who cares?
He hasn't done enough yet.
Yeah. No.
I top tier.
I think he's top tier. He like when it comes to the movie space, he might be the most relevant movie reviewer on YouTube, which is disturbing. And there's actually plenty of content on his main channel that is, for the most part, fine. But he sneaks in little stuff in every video, and then his editorials are just full of misinformation and bullshit. And then his second channel is all misinformation and bullshit.
It's just
if you want
of anti-woke content. Yeah.
If you want to hear our thoughts on this, like very, very awesome, good thoughts, very well structured and organized, and I, if I may say, excellently edited. You can watch that on TurfNation's channel. There's a video it's what's it called on your channel?
Oh, good question.
Something about why people hate this or whatever. I don't know.
Why the critical drinker is dishonest, harmful, and deceitful. The ultimate critique.
Yeah.
But have we considered the fact that he's a published writer?
Oh shit! No, I guess we hadn't. Right?
Well, shit. Yeah,
delete those videos then. Delete them.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! And he has more subscribers than us.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a clip, the very first clip that showed on the pre-stream. I'm going to show that again now from me and Turf recorded some stuff recently. It's a good example of why he's grifty.
I mean, if I was a cynical man, I might suggest that most game studios are infested with jealous.
Oh, so that's just his fucking his weaselly take. Then, if I was a cynical man, that's not the first time I've heard him say that. And then he says the thing that he wants to say. You know,
if I was a cynical man, I would say the thing that I actually believe right now,
and pretend like I'm kind of layering it with a degree of reasonable doubt that I actually said it.
Like you can do that for anything. It's like, well, I said if I was, so that obviously means I didn't mean it.
Physically repulsive land whales who can't stand to be reminded that they've broken more mirrors than Conan the.
That's just cowardly, man. Like, that's just cowardly. You know, to you don't want to take accountability for just saying that there's a bunch of land whales or whatever the fucking sexist, bullshit you're saying there. Just say it, man, and don't do this. If I was a cynical man, and he does it, and the reason it's cowardice is because the other time that I know that he's done it is in the his Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse thing.
Yeah.
When he says, if I was a cynical man, I'd say that it's just because that's the only straight white man in the movie, and they're trying to put him down and stuff like that. It's like, no, man, that's exactly what you want to say. Just say that instead of fucking putting this bumper of accountability between you and your actual beliefs, you fucking pussy. Sorry.
Exactly. Say what you want to say. But yeah.
But he's a top tier fucking grifter, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know who this is.
After Chris. Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right, they're gone. All right, Rags.
So Rags has a
yeah.
I want to say just a bigot. He has a loyal fan base, pretty loyal fan base.
Yeah,
it was probably smart
Does
to attach
he?
himself
Of
to
bigots.
Are they kind of just like kind of run off of Mahler's fan base? That's what I think.
I
It's
don't
like
know,
saying,
but
it's like saying, it's like saying that, like, I don't know, that Paul, as in the Apostle Paul, had a big fan base. You know what I mean? It was like, did he? Or were they just kind of like people that wanted to hang out with Jesus, and Paul was there too? You know?
I think there is a little variance though, but of course I probably dealt more with these guys than you have. The Rags fans are a bit more willing to be the bigots, whereas the Mahler fans have a bit more of a try to do the intellectual edge a bit more. There's lots of crossover though. There's a fuck ton of crossover.
Cringe.
I'd be comfortable with just a bigot though.
I'm just a bigot.
He is usually when there's like something crazy that's been said in EFAP, it's usually Rags.
Yeah, and that's all he has. Like,
yeah,
all Rags does in his own content and in EFAP and all that is he shits on stuff. That is it.
And if you have a take that really just offends him, he'll do one of these.
Well, I don't know. Kill yourself.
Oh,
I guess.
no.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't care.
Which is really classy. I mean, when you have a really good counter argument to somebody, I think telling them to off yourself is a great idea.
But also, don't forget, he is
bigot.
I mean, you bring up a good point here, Lucifer. Like, because Rags will sell himself as an expert, but then the dude, like, he talks about how his least favorite movie of all time is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and I cannot bring up enough how little cinema knowledge you could have to call that your worst movie of all time. Just
you've not watched many movies,
dude. Maestro, that is actually really accurate in my opinion. That is
I think that's a good take.
Yeah,
he is their Cartman. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why Mahler has him on. Rag says the shit that Mahler doesn't want to say.
Yeah,
I mean, he wants to say it, but he doesn't want to say it.
Yeah.
He knows he knows he shouldn't say it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable putting him in just a bigot. Next up, we have Smud Boy. I wanted to put him on just so I could put him in Irrelevant.
Yeah, I've never covered him. I've heard of him. That's it.
Same. He's covered.
As fuck.
He's covered my content before, though.
Smud Boy, from what I understand, Smud Boy, our friend Edger than now, Kai had covered a Critical Drinker. Basically, a video is really good Critical Drinker video about. A video about Critical Drinker. That he's basically just built on strawmen. He's that's all he is. A bunch of strawmen put together into a Scottish guy. And Smud Boy responded to that in a very EFAP fashion. I guess that's what they do. And they spent a lot of time focusing on, as Kai talked about in their video, that drinkers take on Midsummer, and how he just completely misunderstood the whole thing and whatnot. And then they just take issue with that, and they spend a lot of time saying that, Kai didn't know what they're talking about and blah, blah, blah. It's like, but they'd never seen the movie.
Oh, you're cutting out a bit.
They had not seen the movie. None of them. And they're just like, it's just, that's pretty grifty to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty grifty.
I'd say so. Sure, yeah. Okay, so next up we have Jordan Peterson. And this might be controversial.
Hold on.
What?
I'm sorry. When did we ever say we were going to save the fandom? And what fandom are we talking about? You're creating a fucking straw man just to attack it. You seem pretty triggered, buddy. But you know what? How are we bigoted? Do you want to come on stream and talk to us and explain any of this, Mad Rock? I'd love for that, man. Like, are you actually able to fucking stand up and defend any of the shit you just spewed? Because it's all bullshit. No? Probably not. Let me know, man. Here's email. You can send me that. Send something to that email. I'll send you the link. We'll bring you on, because I just find that astounding that that's the take that you have about us, when we've never said we were here to save fandom, because we're not fucking delusional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we actually understand the situation. You showed up and you saw us just saying negative things about people that you probably fucking worship and get all of your opinions from. Okay. And you're like, I'm going to call them bigots and I'm going to fucking say that they're, neckbeards, blah, blah, blah. Like, bullshit. Come on and back it up, bitch. All right.
Well, going on to Jordan Peterson, though, I would call him a bigot. If nothing else, he's a bigot against trans people for sure.
Yeah.
I lean towards top tier with him, because the thing about Jordan Peterson is that he's really entry level. Like, he gets lots of people like with his self-help stuff, and the self-help stuff is weird. It's a mix of like good advice and just stuff that sounds good but is actually kind of bad. And that's a great gateway for these guys. And then, like, when you get into like his later years stuff, it gets really pretty cringe as you get.
Listen here, you fucking moron. That's not how logic works. That's not how thinking works. I'm surprised that you don't understand how thinking works, but this is not how it works. You made a claim. You showed up here. You made a claim. We sit here every week on this stream and in our videos otherwise, making the case that the people that we're talking about are bigots or whatever we're saying at the time, right? You showed up here making a claim. You fucking support your claim. You can't prove a negative. That's not the way it works. You dumb piece of shit. Now I'm banning you. All right. Sorry, I needed to do that.
What are your guys? Oh, did we lose Turf? What happened?
I think he's like, oh, I'm tired of Dane going off on these chuds. I'm out of here.
No. But what are your thoughts on Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson is absolutely a fucking bigot, man. Absolutely.
Where would you rank him, though?
I mean, he was top tier. Now he's kind of just average, maybe bad.
I would still lean towards top tier because he has more of a gateway than a lot of these guys do.
Wow.
With the self-help shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, thinking that he's not a bigot is that blew my mind. I saw somebody say that.
All right. So,
but I think like if you just like kind of maybe like read a couple of his books, especially early books, you may think that because he's much more nuanced early on.
I'm sorry, Turf. Did I make you leave?
Oh no. I guess my whole thing with Jordan Peterson. So I think it was going to be a little bit controversial, but I also I don't know how I felt about it first, because my first instinct was to put him in bad grifter just because of how he fell from grace.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like how, like a year ago to a couple years ago, he had so many people around the world on in a chokehold.
Yeah.
I was saying, man, no, we all talk over each other. That's just something that happens. Yeah. But also, Bob, shut up.
Oh.
Ty, I hope you'll stick around, man, because I think that like if you wait until we're done, kind of, or we might, I don't know if are we going to finish this list today?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe we should go very slowly.
I mean,
maybe
it is going
be a
slowly.
two-parter. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got quite a few left to go over, and there's big ones left too.
Because I think that I would like to kind of like say some stuff to Ty possibly, because like I mean I feel like he's in a position that he maybe needs a little bit of perspective on this and a like I get it, man. Like
talk about Jordan, yeah.
I get what it's like to be. You gain something from him, and that nobody here, I don't think, would ever make the claim that there's not some positive things to gain from like his books and some of the things that he said about psychology and stuff like that. I don't think anybody would say that here. It's just that you have to take you're disappointed where he's at now. Then I think it's kind of time to accept that as a loss and it's time to move on, right? Like, he's not changing. He's not going to go back to just being whatever it was, purely what it was that you liked about him. And the argument can be made that he probably was always that, and maybe he just wasn't leaning on those parts of himself or presenting himself that way yet. And that's okay, man. It doesn't make you a bad person or anything for having gained something from him. It's just, you know, you've grown, and now you see the problematic elements, and it's like, get out of here.
Yeah, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. There could be elements of what he taught early in his books that have really helped you out, and you should hold on to that. You've just grown to a point where you kind of see his issues, and that's good on you. That shows development on your part, and that is excellent.
Yeah. You don't owe him anything.
Yeah, you should be proud that you're recognizing that. That's awesome.
Here's something that you know, I was okay. My stepdad taught me a lot of shit. Okay, like a lot of things that I know about the world and about people and stuff like that, I learned from my stepdad. He's also a huge piece of shit. And I didn't fully know that at the time that I was growing up and learning stuff from him. And like, I definitely have tried to work out any of the shit, the negative shit that I learned from him as I've gotten older. But I still, you know, utilize things that I gained from him that are just like neutral or positive or whatever. But yeah, I had to wrestle with that for a while. But like, oh man, this fucking guy had a lot of influence on me, and I'm, you know, he's actually a piece of shit. You know, it's unfortunate when that happens. It sucks. You know, it's like, I don't know, being a fan of Bill Cosby. I don't know.
Yeah. I've listened to his albums. They're funny. Can't listen to them now for damn sure. Jesus.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I guess like my thoughts on Jordan Peterson with this tier list was that like he really has just lost a lot of the influence he had. Like he used to be, I'd put him as like by far the top of any of these if it was like a couple years ago, just by like the chokehold he had over people, you know, and even like for positive reasons. I know many people in real life where it's like I don't know many people at all. I don't think any who are big fans of any of these other peoples, but I know people who like Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
People who and some people who don't care about the politics side of it, who just like say he's helped me, you know, or that they really liked his videos on psychology, or they liked some of those like original like feminist videos, you know. They just liked a lot of things that he had to say, and he also did have some good things to say, even though I didn't always agree with him. But it's just like he just went further and further down the rails that it's just I would almost put him in bad grifter just for how much he fucked it up. He's still, and like just if we look at just influence now, I'd still say he's bigger than a lot of these people easily. But just like the fall from grace is quite significant.
True. He isn't as relevant as he was, especially when those books got popular.
Yeah. And it's also like, I also just feel like when I listen to him, he doesn't have the same, like, he doesn't have the same sound of being like
right.
Like yeah. It's not well thought out, you know. It's just, it's pretty.
It's rote.
Like
it's it's tired. It's just like the same shit now. And McLeod, we addressed Dave Cullen, but also
it's irrelevant. Yeah.
It also
like
I mean,
when he started leaning heavily into like the woke side of things, and all the memes came out and stuff, and he was just doing the whole with like Elliot Page and being like, who, where, what, why, you know, and like it's like, okay, you're just purposely being dumb right now. Like we all know, like you understand complexity, you know, because you've shown that before. But he really did fall from grace, and that's what makes me want to be just like, fuck it, put him in bad grifter. Because if we're looking at right now, I'd say he's just not what he used to be.
I mean, true. Like what's the biggest things he's done in the past couple of years? Like obviously throw a shit fit over Elliot Page. And
I'd say that hold on.
Ashley Graham.
He's got he's had some substantial traction lately. Let's check out this new clip from him here.
had to turn on your Jordan Peterson voice. I don't know, Jordan Peterson, what you got to say about that?
What was the question?
Can't afford medical bills. Have you tried not being sick? You should.
Well,
you should...
only people with weak moral character get sick.
Yeah.
If you get sick, it's your own fault.
Wow, he's fucking insane now. You know. Oh shit, we were just talking about you.
Jump scare.
I need to go in and find out. I think my default uploads are unlisted. I think that's the problem with the streams. If I don't actually go in and click it.
Like I said, I was able to find it, but it was unlisted.
Well,
I had to
it's
find it in StreamYard.
it's not. It can't be that because mine is that too. On my channel, mine are a default is unlisted.
Yeah, it says unlisted for me, but I don't know why because it's a live stream, so I don't know why it's not kicking over to.
It used to, didn't it? At one point.
Yeah.
So
this is like a new thing. I think it's just been the last couple weeks that this has been going on. So I don't really know. Anyway, it is turned on now. So
yay!
So there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I think the benzo coma in Russia and the meat diet have had a severe effect on his ability to affect have an effective argument or charismatic case or anything.
Yeah. He's lost a lot of charisma.
Exactly.
And also, you know, like, oh, if I can't be a misogynist to you, what do I do with you? Just cringe, cringe.
So that's what would make me go bad grifter. It is weird to put Jordan Peterson next to fucking Yellow Flash, but it's just I think it would be funny just because of how much he fucked it up.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Are we still ranking now?
Yeah.
Oh, we have.
Cool.
A while to go. But we actually do want your opinions on some of these.
I'll kind of take a look as we're going through it to see where you guys ranked everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I stopped at a drive-thru on the way home, so I'm drinking my.
Ooh, we're at Benji.
Oh boy.
All right.
Tricky, but I think we'd have to say top tier.
Benji Beer. I'd say
I would lean towards top tier. He might be losing some. I don't know. We will have to see.
How much do you think he believes in most of what he says?
Oh, he's pure grifter. Absolute pure grifter. He doesn't believe in a goddamn thing.
Do you think so? I think that there's some like he's definitely a conservative that believes a lot of conservative shit. So like, how much?
What's the term for it? I think there's also like a part of him where it's. I think he knows that a lot of what he says is false. Like he's done it multiple times where he acknowledges there's a difference between gender and sex, right? Like once people actually push back against him and then he admits it, and then next time he pretends like he doesn't know that difference. Like, but I once watched a video. I don't remember what like they called the term, but it's almost like he's okay with like being dishonest and lying about things if he thinks that it'll serve a greater purpose, which he genuinely believes in.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird thing where it's like I think he is grifting in some senses and like just being dishonest, but that he also does genuinely believe in some of the stuff that he, if not even a lot of the things that he says, and it's like he'd rather lie about it for the greater good.
Well,
in a way,
I would say a big telltale for me is people that actually go out and like try to spread the word, like at public events and stuff. He's simply sits behind a desk and sells merch while he's shouting about stuff. To me, that's a pretty big indicator that he's doing it primarily for the money, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely would not agree that he is top tier grifter. But like, but I probably also think that he like politically, like he generally does believe what he says more than a lot of the other people on this list.
I think he believes in his politics, but I think the social issues are a grift. I think his cultural stuff is a grift.
Well, thoughts. I think the problem you're going to find with this, I guess, is some sort of argument you're trying to make or something. Is that I know personally, I reject the concept of identity politics as being something that is like all politics are identity politics. All politics are personal, and everybody's trying to everybody's putting their identity and their needs and stuff into it. Identity politics, from what I can tell, it's really just a way for people to say non-white, non-straight, non-male, perspective in politics. So, you guys have any thoughts about that?
What was the comment? Debating in circles, it seems if identity politics or what a studio used to create buzz, people aren't telling us proving my point. I'll be honest, no offense, AWOL thoughts, but this is just, I'm tired of hearing this.
Yeah,
I'm tired of hearing it because I had a conversation the other day with someone, I don't remember what channel I was on, but they talked about this. And I try to ask them what's inherently political about social issues when people are just present in a movie.
Yeah.
And they don't have an answer. So I don't really know what you mean by that. Yeah. Are you talking about the studio mandating it? Or are you talking about the actors talking about stuff when they're not in the film? Like what exactly are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. And in what cases do you have evidence that the studio used identity politics? Like that phrase means pretty much nothing, man. Like it's just a thing that people that don't actually have a substantive point to make, that just they use those words because it paints an image in some people's minds that gets them upset and riled up, and basically like it doesn't really mean anything.
And yes, back to Ben Shapiro, his identity politics, or not his identity, his Batman review is one of the most hilariously bad reviews on YouTube. It is atrocious. Watch my coverage of it.
I forgot what you even said about Batman.
Apparently, Batman doesn't have a character arc in that movie, ignoring his
character
arc. But yeah,
ignoring the clear character arc where he like actually changes how he's doing Batman entirely by the end.
That one.
Yeah.
He's terrible movie reviewer, but he definitely has his thing.
I mean, look, it's better than marginally better than as the Batman take. Not enough white people who are good guys.
True. We're not there yet. Who we got next? Oh,
look, we got.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, good times. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Are we on to what's his face now?
This guy.
Oh yeah,
that guy. Yeah. 5 years ago, I might have ranked him a bit higher, though he's nowhere near top tier. Now he's either just a bigot or irrelevant, wherever you guys want to put him.
He's fairly irrelevant, but he's also still making money off of like the lamest campaigns, crowdfund campaigns. I haven't looked at him recently, honestly.
An outrageous bigot. Like
the only time that we felt that he was worth covering on the initiative was whenever it was revealed that he was in a porno one time, and we laughed at the fucking time. He wasn't.
Wait, which one is this again?
Richard Meyer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, boy Zach, because he rebranded from.
Yeah, he's like standing off in the background watching like this thing unfold. And
well, no, they let him come up, and he like him and his girlfriend or his sister, whoever he's with, actually like come up and they like put their hand on hers a couple times, the actress and stuff. So they allowed that to happen. But yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's really funny to me that when you look at some of the grifters that we cover, the kind of stuff they did prior to like all of this versus the people they talk about who are not in anything like that. Like the people they talk about are never uncovered as being in like some weird adult film with like zebras and stuff like that. Like that never comes up, but then you always find some weird shit about them, and it's just shocking like what's in their closet basically.
I mean, I'd say irrelevant. I mean, he is a big for sure.
Irrelevant, but
because look, what he does is his entire career at this point, it seems to be making YouTube videos that is just finding some tweet with like 2 likes or whatever, where somebody said something that he can contort into like, oh, look at these. And then there was the one time that, it was so stupid I didn't even decide to cover it. So yeah, irrelevant, because I saw a video where he was like, he got my attention with one and I clicked on it, and he had made some graph of like money that had been put into certain DEI initiative. I don't even know where he gets this information from, but then he says they put all this money into this, but Larry Hama is going broke. And that's like they're, like making some kind of case of something. It's insanity, and you have to be really deep in the Comicsgate sauce to give a fuck about any of it.
He pretty much created Comicsgate, but like Ethan's taking it over, and no one cares about him really.
Yeah.
He basically, his claim to fame was at the same time that he was outed as being a dipshit, which was on Jim Jeffries' show.
I have like a list of channels that I kind of keep an eye on. His videos never jump out at me. Like I go through my list and I don't even ever click on them.
Let's look and see what he's been up to.
It just doesn't seem like he's got very exciting visuals for his videos. Maybe that's what it is. So AWOL here says, I thought we were talking about if studios care about a culture war. That was the
Were we?
comment.
Were we talking about that?
I don't. Were you guys talking about that before I came in?
Not that you're of.
I don't. Maybe I missed it. I don't know.
Okay, so the fact that your boy Zach is still just like putting every other fucking video almost has Ed Piskor in the thumbnail or the title is pretty fucked up.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Fuck? Oh, ew.
I mean,
what the fuck is wrong with him?
And then just a lot of them are just tweets. I'm telling you, if Twitter shut down tomorrow, he would be fucked. Les Dispenser, like this. It's and he's getting 8K on that one, 9K. Man, he is nowhere where he was. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, those thumbnails aren't very good. The only thing those thumbnails are going to do is your regular subscribers will click on them, but they're not flashy enough for people who are just kind of browsing YouTube.
Wow, just the tweet? Come on, guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does that a lot. And then when he's not now apparently doing Ed Piskor, using Ed Piskor's corpse as a tool to grift with.
He's irrelevant.
What up?
Hey.
As far as I can tell, I don't think Katie Did's a grifter.
No, she's not on the list.
She's got some good clips on her channel.
Katie Did suffers so that we can all enjoy those clips, because I would never sit through those streams. I don't even know how you have the time to do it. Hopefully you're using the transcript and that's how you're finding some stuff. But
you let us know, Mark. You let us know.
I do want to address something very quickly here from Sandman. Do you still plan to talk to Tim Sheridan? So Tim Sheridan disappeared from Twitter. That was my method of communication with him, was through Twitter.
Oh, shit.
And he vanished. And I've tried to get him on Instagram, but he hasn't read his DMs. So the last time I spoke to him was we were planning on scheduling it, and then like a week later he was like, "I'm leaving Twitter." So I could probably email him or something, but yeah, that was the intent, was to do that.
I assume this is Alan Scott Green Lantern, Tim Sheridan.
Yeah. He's a nice guy. I just think he was fed up with Twitter. He was just fed up with it and didn't want to be on there anymore.
But if you talk to him, let him know that I really dig his run on Green Lantern right now.
Yeah,
I haven't read it yet, but it looked definitely looked good. And then I liked the way that he was going about promoting it.
I'm on issue 4. I have to read the newest one. So
I've just read the first 2, but I'm excited.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to try and finish this or what?
It's
up to you, Turf. I know DJ just got here, so.
Woo.
I mean, we've been going for a while, so
I know you guys have been putting in the work. I was listening while I was driving, so
yeah. I think I probably have to end it here personally.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say that putting as an average grifter is a pretty high bar. like it's a high bar for as, but
he's like, people generally know who he is.
Okay,
He's managed to get himself into the kind of more like higher level of awareness online than
I would put him in the average grifter bar only because of his associations, like the people that he hangs out with.
Yeah.
Because by himself, he's not necessarily great. So
because he's a literal Rippaverse shill now. He's a plant.
Yeah.
And by the way, they fucking hate that we pointed that out. That video has been downvoted like just obscenely downvoted more than
the
anything
one about where we talked about Az's like wall of Rippleverse and stuff, or
and
whatever.
which is just like almost as objective. It's kind of clear what he's doing, right? Like it's not even really in doubt, and like people just don't like that we talked about it that way. I guess pointed that out. So
yeah, is Tim Sheridan back on Twitter? Let's see. I don't think he is. Let me double check.
Do we want to do a couple more? Because I can definitely tell you my thoughts on Shad.
Let's rank Cypher's basement. Because
irrelevant.
Man, I remember that debate, and holy shit, dude! Like you're on another fucking world of I'm sorry, just can't believe he showed up again.
The debate? Which did I miss?
Yeah,
that
I
one?
debate it was over a year ago, but
okay.
That debate went on way longer than it should. But it was like an onion. I kept on peeling layers off of it, and it was interesting. Like Cypher, dude, I have to tell you, like you absorb everything these anti-fans tell you and just spit it out uncritically, and it's almost fascinating to talk to you. I'd love it if you could break that mold, because that'd be like huge personal growth on your part. But
then it also seems like he like takes like heavy doses of mushrooms a lot or something.
Yeah, there's probably that too. And the you kind of have a razor fist look you're going for that. I'm not sure if it works, but I guess if you're comfortable with it, go.
I felt like I could smell him watching the debate.
I need to go watch that one now.
It's a long one. It's in 3 parts.
Oh, is it really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any
They're
short
like an hour and a half each? I have let's see, nothing super short. I think I did have some shorter ones. I don't know if I have them right.
I'm not familiar with Cypher's basement, so
nobody is.
He is
he's one of these. He's one of these guys that Bob, like early on, whenever Bob first started talking about this stuff, that people be like, I disagree. And Bob's like, okay, let's talk about it. And it's like some real fucking like cockroaches crawled out from under the
wow. I need to talk to. I need to get back in touch with Gothics about doing that chat that she wants to do. I haven't really set up a time yet. I don't know. Should we? I'll ask the chat because we're on all of our channels now. Should I ask her if she wants to come on and like chat with us as like in a group stream, or would you guys prefer like a one-on-one thing? Because if you're not familiar with Gothic, she is an ex-member of Black Girl Gamers. She's an ex-member of Black Girl Gamers, so she was. She's had some pretty big opinions about that community, but she wants to talk to me specifically because of the video that I made about her clip.
Yeah,
where she talked about communism and Marxism and that being connected to empathy and how empathetic people can get abused and used by other people and stuff like that. And then the application of Christian values, which I had a big opinion about.
Yeah. Well, thoughts. Why be cool? What is the benefit? How does a studio benefit financially, which is all they care about, in splitting a fan base? Why would a studio do that, man? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like that's their intention. Like what?
Hold on. Let me read that out again. What did that say? I'm sorry, I was reading something else. It says, honestly, I don't think studios can afford to care because people always disagree about things. But yes, I think they pay attention and they use things to split the fan base. Okay, so my question to you, AWOL, I'm a very straightforward person. I don't know if you ever watched me before. What purpose would that serve the studios? What would be the reason they would do that?
What example do you have of them actually doing that?
Yes, that's another good question. But what would be the reason? Like if I go out and I punch someone in the face, there has to be some sort of goal in mind when I do that. There's literally no benefit for studios to split the fan base.
Controversy equals money. If you get half of the fan base, let's just say half, to be fair, I suppose, and saying that they're not going to fucking buy or see a thing or whatever, then no, that's not equaling money. That's equaling like this makes no sense.
You have heard someone say that, and now you're repeating it. That's like. Tell that to all of the movies that supposedly failed because they were woke. I mean,
right? Yeah. Which one is it, man? Like, let's see. What happened with the Marvels, right? So if controversy equals money, they literally made the Marvels a sequel to Captain Marvel, which made $1 billion, and that, you know, had Brie Larson in it, and it had, you know how controversial she is. It should have just equaled another $1 billion easy, right?
I mean,
yes.
Can you give us some clear examples of the studio dividing the fan base?
I knew his name looked familiar. He's been in my comments before. I knew that. I couldn't.
No, I know. I've seen him plenty of times in my comments.
Okay, so wait, hold on. This thing about Gothics, I'm gonna have to look into it. But people are saying that she will only agree to come on if her producer is present.
What?
If that's the case, that would be a no. Because I'm willing to do a one-on-one with her, but not if it includes like a person that she's bringing in just to sit in the back. Because then I don't know if that person is feeding her answers.
Yeah, that's fucking sus as hell, man.
That is weird.
I don't even know why they like if she needs somebody to feed her answers. I don't know why she'd even need to be that sneaky, but or
I don't know. I'm not saying that that's 100% what she's doing, but
it seems very weird. Yeah, I don't understand it.
So yes, maybe goes take game with you when you talk to Gothic. So apparently there's some sort of like, should I look into some debates with her, and if so, who is it that she's debated that you guys would recommend I would look at? Because I'm honestly thought there was like a good faith, like let's have a chat. So
I mean, I would just say that honestly, no, that's not a good faith. It's definitely not. She's identified something with you, or her producer has, that she thinks that if she gets to talk to you, she's going to be able to get some views on that.
He clarified here. No, I mean she brings her producer and Eric brings Dane or his homie, right? So I don't know. I really don't have much to argue in terms of like the Black Girl Gamer stuff or whatever. It's specifically about that clip where I talked about religion, which is what I think that she wants to talk about. So
she wants to get honestly, she wants to get a gay man talking about religion in a video title, probably to like kind of fucking look. You could probably look at her titles and figure out how she would twist that around. Yeah.
Look up actual Jake did a video about her. You'll hear all about. Okay, I'll check that out. But I'm still going to reach out to her and see what her conditions would be.
Yeah, maybe she will have a really reasonable reason to have a producer on with her. I don't know possibly what it would be, but maybe.
Just to protect her from looking bad, basically. You know, to make sure it's
I don't know if you guys saw earlier or not, but I picked up my Hey Bear as well.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
From Teespring. It's good quality. I was actually worried about Teespring because I've heard stuff about it, but it's really good quality. So.
The stuff I've had made from them that I've ordered has come in pretty good quality, actually.
Well,
so,
by the way, I recreated your logo, DJ, because I was doing this thing here, and I wasn't it wasn't looking super great in this graphic that I was making. So let me pull it up here. So this.
I think Turf is trying to get out of here, aren't you, Turf?
I know he is.
I am.
Get out of here as I play your graphic.
All right. See you guys.
See you later.
Here's TurfNation.
I want to say thank you for seeing the new graphic of mine. That looks so good. I love my new graphic.
It does look cool. And then finally here, I kind of recreated yours a little bit. I don't know if that's too.
Oh, that's great. No, that's perfect. That's great.
I couldn't find the exact melting.
I will. That looks great, but I will send you the HD PNG file so you have it. But, cool. Yeah, that's great.
Sweet. Anyway. Well, this is
So, what else were the topics today? Do we have anything else?
No, we did
reviews.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Dave?
Yeah, we haven't talked about it. Look, let's go ahead and get this out of the way here.
What? Hold on, what? What did I step into?
No, it's just an ongoing joke from that one stream where that guy was like, "What's your opinions on abortions and stuff like that?" And we're like, "Look, man, we're just nerds."
Oh, right.
Gender
we weren't even talking about that. It's like, what do you think about abortion and human rights and saving the world? Yeah, that was funny.
If I would have had time, I was planning on taking this and making us like an abortion initiative graphic or something like that. Like it didn't have time, unfortunately. Had to prioritize other shit.
Wow.
Who else is best qualified to talk about abortion but a couple of cis men who aren't doctors? It's just
all right.
Come on.
It's a hot take, but whenever I make my videos like debunking the medical stuff, and I'm always like, why do you care what somebody else's doctor says to their patient? Why do you care about that? It's such a weird. It's a weird thing to care about.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So I just banned Cypher's Basement for using the phrase "your type." Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Just fuck him, man.
I didn't even see it. So, but
I would say it's a long guy, but my debate with him kind of shows a lot of the mindset of these guys. God damn.
He's kind of like almost like the id of these guys or something in a way.
Yeah.
Bob, if you do that, I would love to see that. Definitely would love to see that. I think it's very difficult for I don't want to say always, but I think it's very difficult for anyone, especially Christians, to look at morality outside of their Christianity because it's so deeply ingrained for a lot of Christians. Every once in a while I'll run into someone that does agree that like you can be a good person without being a Christian, but a lot of them believe that that's the only way to be a good person, at least in my anecdotal, one-on-ones. Of course I have my history with being kicked out of church when I was a kid, so I don't have much of a high opinion.
I also have a low opinion of church in general, and just like the idea that to be clear, the idea that just going to church and being a Christian or any religion makes you a good person. That's I think there's a lot of harm that's caused based on that assumption.
Yeah. My husband for 20 years was a church-going Christian guy. We got along fine, there wasn't any issues with it. But I've just found that sometimes the judginess can't be separated from the person. I do know a lot of Christians that aren't judgy, but I know a lot that are. So
I think most Christians are just kind and decent people, but they're the really vocal ones,
like Melanie Mack.
Honestly, paint them in a bad light, frankly. I think Christians need more people like Alan Richardson and less people like Melanie Mack.
Yeah, no more Melanie Macks. We need more of those. Have you seen that people are posting her picture and calling people that? They're saying, "Oh, she would." What are they saying? I've seen Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers post it, and they're like, what she would call you, or something like that. So they're getting around saying the F slur by posting a meme of Melanie and saying, what she would call you, kind of thing. It's kind of like a little side thing.
Fun.
So that's fun. It's a lot of fun. Which just makes them cowards. I don't like that Melanie says a bunch of slurs, but I also have to give her credit for actually being someone to say what she says, opposed to a lot of these grifter guys who are like they say it behind closed doors, but they're not saying it publicly because they know that they shouldn't say it. So they use her. They hide behind Melanie Mack of all people, which is pretty funny. I haven't really watched her videos recently, honestly.
I had never really watched a video of hers until recently, and I couldn't get really through it because I was looking through stuff for my X-Men video, and I'm like, here's the Melanie Mack one, and it's just like I've never seen anybody that's as successful apparently as she is, who just clearly doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about and is just using it. It couldn't be more clear that she's just using it to go, because of wokeness, and and it's like it's so low effort. So no fucking charisma, no talent. It's like, man, you have gotten here strictly on being what I suppose people think is an attractive woman.
She lost all of her sponsorships because she just cannot not be a bigot. You know what I mean? Like to be honest, she ticks a lot of the boxes of like what people are looking for from like game streamer commentators type stuff, like just in general. But then she's just insufferable. So it's like, Rogue here. This is an interesting comment. You see this? Christian nationalism has completely superseded those instructions by something that serves the more primal fears of the human condition, who get to use the label to justify pseudo-righteous hatred. That's a pretty well constructed synopsis.
Yeah. Yep. And Christian nationalism, by the way, is exactly what we are up against right now. If things don't go well at the end of the year, it's going to be bad. Christian nationalism is trying to fucking, own this whole situation. And my brain's kind of crapping out because I'm hungry, but
No, we're almost.
I'm sorry. I mentioned food earlier. My apologies.
It's totally your fault too. Oh no,
Yes, I know. I take the blame
God
for it.
damn it, DJ.
Well, we still got some more grifters to rank. We can do that maybe next week or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Man.
Oh, did you see this? I wanted to get your take on this real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Stray beans for $7.99 says, is Eric concerned about the dramatic downward trend in total purchases for each of his campaigns? A loss of 32K customers between 3 campaigns.
I answer that. I don't think you should look at it like customers like that, because
wait, did Hypnotic read that out? Was that
not sure.
Hypnotic? That sounded like Hypnotic's voice.
Yeah, I guess so.
I can't believe he read that, to be quite honest, but
with our books, they're different properties. So when Spider-Man outsells the Punisher, nobody says there's a loss in customers, right? Nobody words it like that. But
that's because they don't sell comics the same way you do. You've got a board that keeps track of how many individual customers are buying your comic at any given time.
And
so
we're
of course not going to talk about it that way.
We're not talking about Spider-Man and then Punisher, and of course Punisher doesn't sell as well as Spider-Man. Punisher doesn't even have a consistent series like Spider-Man does. But because he's just not as popular character. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's not like Marvel does a Spider-Man comic book and that's their only comic book for like 6 months, and then they do a Punisher comic book and that's their only comic book for 6 months. They don't do it that way.
He makes a lot of excuse me, so sorry. I saw this and I was like, holy shit. AWOL thoughts. Did somebody say that they think that? Because here's what I think. I think maybe I speak for everyone on stream right now when I say this. The studios, for one thing, studio can't care. A studio is not a person. However, if you're talking about a collection of people, the executives, the bean counters up top and whatnot, no, they probably don't really care, not to any substantial degree. They might have personally have some feelings on it or whatever, but they're not making content that is inclusive because they're like, oh, I just want to be a good person and be inclusive. No, everything every corporation does is to make money. And you're using a fucking silly standard by zeroing in on this and going, oh, they're not doing it for altruistic reasons. Nobody does it for fucking altruistic reasons. Nobody makes money for altruistic. Nobody. Okay. So zeroing in on this and acting like this is just some I don't know, example that defies the norm or whatever is fucking, it's stupid and just kind of bad faith.
On my stream the other night with Low Watermark, it was a really late night stream. It went on forever. It was like 3 hours and some change long. But we talked a lot about capitalism, especially like rainbow capitalism, pink capitalism. A lot of these companies, they align themselves with marginalized communities because they realize that they can make money doing that, and they do the same pandering to every group. Every group gets pandered to by a company in some way or another. If you see a poster with a sexy woman on it, guess what? If that's going to make you see the movie, congratulations, you've just been pandered to. That's what they do. That's how they work. And to act like people don't realize that, people get it. I get it. Everybody should get it. It shouldn't be a big secret. I don't think that Disney gives a shit about me. I never have. So yeah.
Oh, I forgot that I was going to do that 5 times. Whoops.
Yeah. It seems like he was responding to Hedgehog. Apparently.
I know, but I mean, still, it doesn't change the fact that I didn't take anything out of context.
Oh yeah. No, I see.
He's making the claim that studios care about the things.
Everyone, if you did not know, let's make it very clear: studios do not care about us as human beings. They do not care. Their primary goal is to make money and stay in business.
So whenever we're talking about
artists.
Yes.
There might be artists within the company that care about people and issues and stuff like that. The company just cares about money. Pure and simple.
Yeah, the creative people are the ones that give a shit. The companies are just the facilitators. That's it.
The X-Men comics for the past 5 years have been incredible source of representation for the queer community. And like being somebody who's technically not really, kind of tangentially part of the community. Being demisexual, I do think that there is some very good representation there based on the LGBT people I know, and that is because the creators do care. the people that are just working for, writing because they want to write something that people connect with and want to tell good stories and stuff like that. The people that pay them, nah, maybe not so much, but it's irrelevant because I don't know. The reason why somebody does some form of entertainment shouldn't really be that big of a factor in whether or not you find enjoyment in it or not, unless it's something that is harmful.
I think it's kind of weird though. The one thing that bugs me a little bit about all of it is it doesn't seem like it's the entertainment that bothers people. It's the stuff that's said outside of the entertainment. That's what seems to get under people's skin. It's like, do they dislike Brie Larson or they dislike what Brie Larson said outside of Captain Marvel? Like if they were to watch that movie, not knowing anything that Brie Larson said, would their opinion of the movie be the same? And that is really the frustrating part for me, because we're supposed to overlook Gina Carano's personal opinion and just enjoy the stuff that Gina Carano is in, but then they won't apply that same logic to everything else that they
to Alan Richardson.
No, it's weird stuff that they dig up too. It's like red carpet interviews and stuff like that. There's lots of really fascinating behind the scenes footage of like movies being made and stuff like that, and they don't even dig up that. It's like, here's some cast interview they did for Entertainment Tonight or some shit, and it's like,
I
don't care about that. I don't.
No, that's not true, Brett. They care. They only care because it makes money sometimes whenever they do it well. That's it. Because sometimes it makes money because there is demand for it. Simple as that.
What happened? Why is the chat? Oh, it was like not scrolling for me. I clicked on the comment and it went away. So anyway,
I will tell you this, Brett. If studios care about inclusivity and DEI, it's because it makes them money.
Yep.
We didn't even know that this was a thing like 7 months ago. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's just so stupid. Like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of this like inclusivity DEI stuff has been going on for quite a while now. All of a sudden, it's a problem. All of a sudden, it's an issue because people that are mad about it were looking for something to be mad about. They were looking for a boogeyman. They were looking for something to blame and be upset about. It's such a weird fucking thing to me. Like, to find that out and now apply it to everything. People are using the term DEI to apply to elected officials. Like, give me a fucking break.
It's just you're just man. If you're doing that, I don't know, Brett. I can't tell. Honestly, can't tell. Are you trying to make a case against this stuff at this point? Because of course it's a money making vehicle. Of course it is.
I mean,
when has it never been?
The old ways is 100% correct with this. If they thought going full chud would make them money, they would do it.
Has this been 2 hours of saying the money men like making money? No, it hasn't. I don't know what that means. I mean, actually, it has been because we've been talking about grifters, so we have been talking about money men who like making money.
He's co-signing. So
sorry, you can see how I might have thought that you might actually be trying to make a negative statement, right?
Yeah. No. And I wasn't talking about Brett specifically. I'm talking about the whole idea of this DEI inclusivity thing, like just this fictitious creature living under the bed that wants to pull in marginalized people because they can't stand white people. It's just.
It was the Chud decade, Lucifer. It really was.
So this video is there. Did we where did we stop at the video? Oh, he was answering something about
listen to, oh my god.
By any means. So no, I'm not at all. I wouldn't call it a dramatic downward trend at all.
But it is though. Like, it just is that in terms of customers. And if he's trying to have some kind of cultural effect, you need more customers, not less, right? Doesn't that make sense?
Not only that, they've made videos before talking about like how a Marvel movie made 10 million less than another one, and all of a sudden it's the death of Marvel. Let's not pretend that the numbers don't matter to them. This is the coping. This is a cope session. He needs a therapist at this point. I mean, like, you're looking at the numbers, they're going down. Oh, we made more money last year because you're selling more bundled merchandise. The comic books are not selling as well.
Because he shut down his website and had all fucking sales divert to the IRA campaign. That's why.
Over half of the IRA campaign is non-IRA content.
Also, if he does go to see a therapist and you talk about your dad and stuff like that, which you need to do, man. People have heard of an oral fixation. I could say I probably have that from my years of smoking and stuff. He's got a nasal fixation, man. Like he cannot keep his goddamn fingers out of his nose. I don't know how you can get on stream and just start fucking flicking your boogers the way he does, but he does, man.
All right, well,
because we made more money in 2023 than we made in 2022.
So has the comic book industry for several years consecutively.
We're on a trajectory right now, especially with our increase of volume.
So
This year,
pause it for
to
a
make
second.
more money than we made.
The question wasn't about the money. The question says, is Eric concerned about the dramatic downward trend in total purchasers? Nowhere in this comment does he say anything about how much money they've made.
Yeah, that's because the rhetorical trick that he used was to just completely dismiss the customers as being a point that he's worried about.
Yeah, he
did that
shifted it. He just
immediately.
deflected. He 100% just deflected that.
He knows what he's doing in that regard. It's just,
Can you explain why you've lost 32,000 customers between 3 campaigns? That is the question. That is what he's talking about. He's not
And
talking about how much money you made.
I think he had like what 60, 70 something thousand the first time, right? Does that seem right from memory?
Yeah.
And to lose 32,000 of those is not nothing. It's substantial, man.
Also, keep in mind, we are 3 years into the Rippaverse, and they've only had 3 books. Last year, he said
That's
3
true,
books
yeah.
were coming
We
out.
don't have Yaira yet.
We've
so that's
only
great.
had 3 books, and 2 of them came out last year. So,
yep, cringe, cope, bullshit.
Last year, so I think we'll be fine. I appreciate your concern, though. We'll be fine.
But that's different, and he's right. He is going to be fine because he never was, in my opinion, trying to make a long-term thing. Like he's just getting the bag, and he's going to see how long, how long he can keep it going. Sure, but at a certain point, it's going to come to, this is actually costing me more. I might start losing money. This is making me look really bad and stuff like that. It's time to just cut and run, and he's going to do that. Yeah, respect the customer, right? What happened to that? Well, I mean, it's easy to respect the customer whenever you're losing them constantly. You have far fewer people to respect.
Also, I've seen this argument on several streams now where they talk about how fans of Spider-Man, and you mentioned this earlier, wouldn't buy Punisher, or fans of Batman might not buy Superman. In a world where a company is releasing 50 to 80 comic books a month, that makes sense. It makes sense that the consumers of Marvel would be a bit more specific about the books they want to buy and read, because it would cost impossible amounts of money to buy every single comic book every single month. He's putting out 1 comic book every 6 months. And it makes no sense that he would not have his fans buying at the very least 1 issue of that comic book.
Because the unspoken thing is that, of course we've spoken it before, but like people aren't really generally buying these comics because they care about the characters and shit. They're buying them because they're Eric July sycophants. They're Eric July, pay pigs. And if you can't even get your fucking pay pigs to just buy the next comic that comes out, and there's just like every single comic you're losing pay pigs, it's not good, man.
Well, also, ND Andrew, who is, I don't know what his position is in the Rippaverse, but he's one of the employees of the Rippaverse, was on a stream with some people I'm not familiar with. And I saw the clip. I don't have it here, but I will paraphrase. He mentioned that on the very first campaign, a lot of people who are not comic book fans supported Eric because it was Eric. And I honestly shocked that he said that, because that seems like something that they wouldn't say. But he did say it. He's like, and once they did that, they sort of did their thing, and then they didn't bother to come back because they were just supporting Eric on that first campaign. So,
which I believe, man, it seems like somebody said that before the first comic ever came out. I'm just trying to remember who that was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of us continued saying that for a while. Like it was a talking point for a minute, but no one in the Rippaverse or affiliated with the Rippaverse would ever say that. So the fact that Andrew came out and said it on a stream with someone else was pretty shocking to me, considering the state of the company right now. Because Yaira, regardless of financially the campaign, because let's be clear here, the campaign has made a little bit more money than Alpha Core. It is dead right now. That is a dead campaign. It is not moving at all. It's like stuck in sand. It's not going anywhere, and I think there's still like several weeks left in that campaign. So it's kind of dead in the water. Nobody's really talking about it anymore.
You know what's notable is that like people talked about the ISOM comic books themselves once they'd come out, and then like screen grabs started going around, stuff like that. We were part of it, some of it. Using them to make memes and to dissect and make fun of and stuff like that. That happened a little bit with Alpha Core when it first got into people's hands, but it really did not continue. And I'm willing to bet that Yaira will see some of that, right at the beginning whenever it gets into hands, but it's going to go away pretty quickly because it's probably not even as interesting enough to, and by the way, I finally have been reading the Soska Sisters Black Widow run.
No restraints play, right? Is that
no restraints play? It is to act like this is something special over any other Marvel comic book that comes out is insane. Right. Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad. It's definitely not. It's got its weak points, and I'm trying to keep in mind that I'm being more critical because of them, and I know that they wrote it. So I'm trying to keep that out of my mind and just like read it as if I didn't know who they were. But still, they're writing Captain America like a dipshit.
Yes, that Captain America is one of the worst versions of Captain America I read, to be honest.
And Black Widow is just kind of not how I picture Natasha. She's like too snarky in a way. Like there's some very, very specifically on the nose criticism of like there's political stuff going on there, like political statements, commentary being made. And I wouldn't even say that I disagree with some of it.
It's almost like it's almost like it's an Elseworld story, right? It's almost like it's in the multiverse and it's not actually part of the canon.
Who's that?
You know what I mean? Like they always talk about that, and it's like,
who's Frog Tony?
The Geek Getaway.
Oh.
He changed his name to Frog Tony now.
Right.
You missed it, but we'll be doing more next week. We didn't get through it.
We can add you to the next one when we finish up next week, man.
The Frog King, Tony.
Yeah.
So does he have any more to say? Does he kind of shift him anymore in this video, or is he?
I mean, he's always everything he says is bullshit. I don't remember if he says anything else.
I'm very curious to see where he goes with this.
Difficult to do. Like that's what I mean. You're really good at
beings. So here, the crazy thing about this stream was the people that are just like fucking fondling his nuts is insane.
I was gonna say, yeah, like every time I see Eric on a stream, it's like he's in the middle, and all of these like virtual hand jobs are happening. Like they're all under the table giving him a handy because they're so excited to talk to him.
Because they're holding him up as just like, oh, you're changing the industry. Your success is blah 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 blah. And it's like,
one thing is when I sit through a lot of like Chud streams, especially people who are either fans of comic books or even comic book creators themselves, typically the comments you get from fans of your content is this character going to be in the next comic, or what is this person going to be doing, or what's the backstory for so-and-so, or something like that. When the fans of Rippaverse are talking to Eric July, it's about money. It's always about money. These guys are just asking him about the success of the business and stuff. Where are the questions about ISOM? Where are the questions about Alpha Core? Where are the questions about Spark and Exceps? Like, yeah,
because I'm not familiar with all of the guys here, but I know that the guy at the top right specifically says that he doesn't know, he doesn't identify with Comicsgate or anything like that. But that they're just in general, I don't think any of these guys are really comics guys. Right. Might be wrong, but like that guy on the right there, I know the only place I've seen him is in a video with InfoWars dude.
Like in Frog Tony's here, like Tony actually does streams specifically about the stuff he's working on, right? Because he wants people to know and keep up with the content that he's making. Yeah. Eric July does commercials for the comics, like little short videos, and then his little minions go on other streams and talk about the comic books. Eric only ever talks about money. That's the only thing he ever talks about, whether it be his comics or other people's comics. It's money and hating diversity. Those are his two major talking points.
His warehouse stuff is really fascinating.
Yeah, the warehouse content is like top tier. Anyways, yeah.
So the Gooch guy in the corner, upper right corner, I think his name was Gooch. I think that's what it said, right? Before the comic came
I think so. Gooch. I don't remember, but like, yeah, it's the Gooch. It's just funny. It's a funny word.
What was his name?
Funny to me.
Taint?
Yeah, something like that. I was trying to find some kind of clip here, but I don't remember what happened to it. Anyways, I don't know. I'm good.
Who is that above Eric July? The like thumbs up person with the woman in the Looney Tunes
Yeah, is that
thingy?
Karen Gillan? I mean, it's obviously
Karen
not Karen
Gillan.
Gillan, but like, who's the image? Who's the model above Eric?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I know the one on the our right, Eric's left, interviewed Renowned Zero Sturgis. I saw a video where he interviewed him. For what reason, I don't know. To be completely honest, I don't know why, but yeah,
because he couldn't get Eric, I guess.
Probably. So he talks to one of his minions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lucifer said, I don't see the comparison anyway. Yaira isn't a different comic to Isom, no matter how he frames it. Well, every comic coming from him has been a continuation or connected to Isom 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Every single one of them so far. The only one we know that is not going to be connected is Horseman.
No, Horseman. I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
Well, it's in the same city, but I don't know if it connects with like any stories from Isom.
God, I can't wait to see fucking Isom just having a conversation with Horseman. Oh my God, it's gonna be so awesome.
Horseman.
Oh, by the way, did you see the MCU is failing so hard that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was the only movie that made massive profit last year, apparently.
Wait,
there's $125 million in profit when people like Ryan Cannell and all these other guys said that clearly it lost money, but it's been confirmed that it made $125 million in profit.
I have another clip here that I almost forgot about, and it's amazing. It's from the same stream. So
these are the guys that are experts on money, though. They're the ones that they're experts on sales and stuff like that.
I mean, look, once it got to the point where they still will make excuses for Captain Marvel making $1 billion. I don't know. There's just at that point you're not dealing with rational human beings anymore. They still think that somehow doesn't count or something. So yeah, he what was he talking about? Oh! Did I already upload it or what? Fuck. So he was apparently thinks that he was in a comic book by DC.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like the whole time he's like, oh, it's probably not me, and I'm not saying it is me and stuff, but he's also just like, oh, look, it's clearly me. It's so stupid. Man.
Oh, I saw a comment here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'll answer it very quickly. I don't read any Godzilla comics really, but my favorite one is Shin Godzilla. Would probably be my favorite Godzilla movie. Just thought I'd answer that quickly.
Where the hell is this thing?
So real quick, he's like let's see if I can get camera. There he is. He's like an Alex Jones character. He's trying to say this is him.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an alien, actually. The skin color is very like almost.
Well, I think that's supposed to be lighting in the room.
Yeah. Just you can't really tell. You know, if the person what ethnicity they are based on the lighting. Mm-hmm. So
it's just funny in the
probably why they did that.
He's both extremely confident and also just like allowing for the probability that it's not him. It's insane how he can adopt both positions.
Well, apparently someone, I think it might have been John Della Rose, who sent it to him and said, "This is about you," or "This is your picture," or something.
Oh.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, and he just couldn't get rid of that.
How much this means to me is just to keep putting stuff out and giving you guys things that you guys enjoy. So we did talk about this. I just wanted to bring it up for Cannon's sake show. Not necessarily.
We already talked about it once, but I want to talk about it again because I just want to make sure I talk about myself.
Really trying to turn this into a segment again. But for you guys that may have missed this, this is pretty hilarious. I got an email. That's where I first got tipped off. I got an email about it first, and then I was tagged in on social media, and it
I don't
went
believe
around.
he uses email.
And look, there is a upcoming.
You don't what?
I don't believe that he uses email. I think he just gets DMs and stuff from people. He says, I got an email about it. No, someone that you know, probably connected to Rippaverse Goalpost or something, told you about it, and then you went and looked at it. You keep saying you get emails. Like, most people don't even like to email us about being
Yeah.
on the show. I don't think people are emailing Eric July about something here when they could just literally
Right.
tag him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is
Oh, is he on Twitter? I can't tell.
he says something that's like, oh yeah, of course he's talking about wokeness and stuff. So it's like, so that's like evidence that it's him. It's like, do you think that there's just like a couple of you that do that? Like,
yeah.
Well, the other thing is, if he's not considered an anti-woke content creator, then why would he think that they would list him as a anti-woke content creator in a comic book? Why do you think that is?
Why do you know what?
Eric, why do you think that is?
This Schrodinger's Eric July, basically. Like everything that he says and believes and exists, it both exists and doesn't exist. It's insane.
Comic is called something of, what is it called? The What of Brainiac again? Superman House of Brainiac. And DC Comics is taking on wokeness, Elon Musk, and legacy media, and this is coming from Dick Dixon of the Bleeding Asshole, who isn't a fan of me.
Are you kidding me, dude? Like, holy shit. Dick Dixon of the Bleeding Asshole. Like, what the fuck? Okay, you remember that clip, that thing you did a while back where you were looking at all the content about gay stuff that he does, and then just yesterday, I think you had a video where you're like, I think Az is actually in the closet.
I'm beginning to really feel, and several people are like, is your gaydar off? Because I thought he was before. The thing is, I don't like that trope. I don't like that stereotype. So I try to really hone
It's a
in.
problematic thing.
Yeah. But I'm getting the impression that Az 100% is hiding something or compensating for something. I'm really getting that vibe. So
Corey Warren, what's up, man? Right here we got Corey Warren, the guy that's done our very well received animated avatars that we've been doing the shill tunes with those.
Great stuff.
It's fun. It allows me to do some fun stuff, just like kind of like keep the creativity flowing instead of just like doing nothing but dealing with dumb chuds and yeah.
But he covers this and he talks about some of the storyline and everything that's happening. This is a book, I believe, that will be out this upcoming Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a guy.
A lot of detail. He knows a lot of details about something that he just found out about. Oh, it's coming out Wednesday. This is the person who wrote the article.
Look, man, if you can't find a way to insult him without doing that, then just fuck off. So that'll be the only warning.
Right here that just looks a little familiar, and he's talking about wokeness. And what I think happened is, look, I can't.
That doesn't actually look anything like him. Does he sit there with a mug in his hand a lot? Does he? That's not even his posture. Like,
and he definitely isn't that muscular.
No, definitely
not that muscular.
No, that's probably why he really wants it to be him. He's like, oh, this is that arm. That's clearly me.
Oh, it's a guy with a beard and a hat, so it has to be him. Apparently,
Eric July is the only guy with a beard.
Well, no,
it doesn't even look like his beard. It doesn't even look like his beard.
He talks about
no, it doesn't look like his beard at all.
Without a doubt, say that this is supposed to be me, right? Yes, there's a lot of similarities. The hat, the complexion, the beard, and the microphone.
The complexion, you're red. I mean, he's a red guy.
I mean, he's literally sitting right next to the picture, and they don't look the same color at all. So
character's not talking about wokeness. That character is.
I couldn't even tell if the character was a human. That's why I said I can't even tell what the race of the character is.
I mean, the one line of that character is they're putting alien DNA in the chocolate milk. That's all the.
Which sounds to me like it's more like Joe Rogan or Alex Jones. Yeah.
Well, he does say that. He does say that there's an Alex Jones and Joe Rogan element too. So like he's allowing for the fact that it probably oh man, yeah, we didn't do that Star Wars girl. We'll have to add her next week. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, he's allowing for the fact that it's not him, but he also seems pretty confident in him.
Is pretty much spot on. But, look, I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. It does look that they did try to mix in a couple of different things with this. It's like my likeness, but it's with the reddish sort of background. It's look like a nod to Joe Rogan, and then they take care of the Alex Jones situation with this whole they're putting alien DNA in the chocolate milk, which is kind of I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frogs gay type situation. So it looks like they kind of tried to morph all of those in one, right? Where, look, if it was not a comic and he wasn't talking and they weren't trying to highlight wokeness, I'd be like, yeah.
The most like honestly, the most he could be able to say is like, there might be some of me included in this amalgamation of a bunch of different right-wing figures.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's the furthest he could go with it.
It's just a coincidence. And it is. Maybe it is just still that. I'm not going to sit up here and just say that absolutely that's what DC Comics was going for, or the artist was going for, maybe the...
Granted, he probably thinks all brown people look alike. So
I also want to point out, if you don't believe that you're contributing to this, then why would you assume this is about you? Again, I don't.
Yeah.
If he doesn't think that this is the kind of stuff he does, then why is he assuming that they're talking about him?
Oh, because that's what they think he does, and they're going to paint him as doing that, right? Even though that's not what he does. That's probably what he would say to that, I think.
I guess, but
writer told the artist, but it is
it is what it is. What it is.
It is what it is.
Very similar. Very, very similar, for sure. So nonetheless, even if it wasn't purposeful, or maybe it was just a coincidence.
I mean, look, guys, hold on, watch, quickly. It could be me.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, it's.
Yeah.
I actually have a mug. Get it on
honestly, sincerely, when you lean forward, the way that your light hits you, your complexion is closer to him than Eric's is.
Yeah.
Like you have like a red kind of there's some kind of red tinge in your lighting there. And yeah.
Alexa, set studio to red. It's a little bit more.
A hilarious one nonetheless. So I just wanted to acknowledge that for the show. We have seen it. It's making its rounds. It is quite funny. And obviously they have Lex.
It's just like Eric July. If Rip Reverse Goalpost, if you're watching this or whatever, Eric, before you do streams or videos or whatever, just blow your nose out real good, man. Just fucking go in the bathroom and just fucking, just blow it on out of there. They make this kind of a saline spray stuff that you can just like squirt up there. It'll really just help it loosen it all up, and you just blast it fucking out of there. You breathe better. You won't have to stick your fingers up in there, yeah. Anyway.
Basically, this is for sure Elon Musk, a nod. So we know that they're making nods for sure.
If they really wanted it to be Eric July, they would have put him in a tank top.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wouldn't have put him in a t-shirt like this. That's not. The t-shirt has something on it too. I don't know what the t-shirt says.
At best, there's some visual cues that maybe they're borrowing, but like it's clearly an amalgamation.
The angle is different. The lighting is different. Let's count the things that are actually the same. A beard, which, granted, it's about the same length, I suppose.
Yeah, but there's a lot of grifters with beards.
True.
Ball cap.
A ball cap, but the ball cap is done differently. It's more like how Eric's wearing his.
It's not a flat brim cap. It's like a trucker cap.
Yeah.
The microphone looks like just every other. He did mention that it's the same mic, but it's not. Look at it. It's a different. It's the mic stand isn't even the same. He doesn't drink from mugs.
Can I also point out something that really bothers me? The phrase is not for canon's sake. I mean, it's like it would be a possessive noun for canon's sake. How the fuck do you not? That really just chaps my ass.
Well, he also, I was watching a clip the other day where he said, "What I do is," and I'm like, he said it multiple times. I'm like, no, you would say "what I do," not "what I do is." Like, why would you say it like that?
Because he taught us doo-doo.
I guess. Yeah.
He also has a hyper masculine look. That guy does.
I think he's talking about the one in the drawing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know.
That dude looks fucking ripped.
Which is why I said it's more like Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan has kind of got like the bodybuilder look.
Anyway, who has a hand grenade on his wall? Who's that? Yeah,
nobody, but like Tim Pool and a lot of those guys have weapons hanging on their wall. So I think that's what the reference is to, like weapons hanging on the wall or whatever.
Anyway, that's cringe and terrible, and
it's just dumb. Like, you know what I mean? The one thing that I've gathered from all the people I've been talking to recently is that it's Eric July's lack of actual humor that kind of gets under people's skin. He doesn't know how to sort of laugh things off. Yeah. He gets very very agitated and annoyed by just about any and everything that people say to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Except
that's a narcissistic personality disorder. To be honest, that's what that causes. It's just a completely fragile shell of an ego that and all of his posturing is just designed to defend that fragile shell. But it's really super easy to just hit it and it cracks, or he just operates a sock account where he goes around pretending to not be affiliated with himself. And,
yeah. Did you guys see quickly before we go that Dan Schneider from the Nickelodeon producer is suing that the documentary series Quiet on Set that exposed a lot of the abuse that was going on? He's suing them.
So we can expect him to do a podcast before long where he's talking about being canceled, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much, probably. Yeah, he does have a YouTube channel actually with like 3 videos on it, but you know the thing that they all ignored, the thing that all the chuds ignored that I made like 3 videos about, where I'm like, this is really bad. Yeah, it's actually a real thing, opposed to all the stuff that they talk about that's not real. So here we go.
What are you referring to? I'm sorry.
Quiet on Set, the Nickelodeon thing, the documentary. Okay. The documentary about Nickelodeon that exposed like a lot of the abuse that was happening, and the producer.
I've definitely seen.
Yeah,
I've seen some chuds mentioned. I don't know about YouTubers, but I've seen it mentioned in chuddy contexts of like, this shows that Hollywood's just a bunch of predators.
Yeah, but none of the big guys made any videos about it. I was keeping track of them. Like none of them talked about it. Like Nerdrotic didn't talk about it. Ryan Cannell didn't talk about it. Geeks and Gamers didn't talk about it. They all pretty much ignored it.
That's next week.
Yeah. I will say this though, it's kind of weird. So Dan Schneider, the producer that was mentioned in one of the episodes of that documentary, is suing them 2 days ago on my videos from last year, where I looked at the trailer for the documentary. All of a sudden got claimed.
Weird.
It just like it all sort of happened at the same time. So I'm not sure what was going on with that, but it was old, so I just removed it from the video. But it's just funny that they went through and claimed the trailers. So
just before we go, do you mind if we take a look at, because I take time on these things, and I made sure we each had a different one this week.
The thumbnails, yeah.
Just want to make sure we had goofy-eyed chuds in all our streams.
Isn't it weird that Ryan Cannell only has like 2 proper like pictures? Like if you go on like Google searches, because I'm always trying to find stuff for thumbnails. Like he doesn't have a lot of like shots on social media. It's mostly just his.
There's the older ones. Yeah, I think he probably does it on purpose, right? Like because there's some of those photos from a couple of years ago. He looks like a frail little bird person.
Yes, that's true.
Who's the guy on the right?
That's John De La Rose.
Oh shit! Oh, damn, I did not recognize him.
Yeah, I saw that picture before. I was like, "That's a interesting photo."
Yeah, he's literally doing the OK sign with like a grossly long middle fingernail there.
Oh, gross! Yeah.
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 So was that you just want to show that one, or are you going to show all of them?
No. I'm sorry. I was making sure that. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh.
Here's this one.
So who is that in the middle?
That's Adam Friended.
Oh, that's his
avatar. Yeah. He definitely doesn't look that rugged and cool.
God, Shad is so cringe. So a Mauler urine.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like whenever I made that covered the little platoon like a couple weeks ago on my Friday show, and I was like, how do I? Did you see you made it into our short, Loud as Fuzz? Did you see that? You're a star.
Emo Kirby's return.
Emo Kirby's showed up to be like, you guys got feminine energy.
Yeah. Notice we have feminine energy as you get your bangs out of your eyes.
Yeah.
I see you came back. You must like the feminine energy. You're back again.
Yeah.
Why else would you? Yeah. I have a lot of fun with these eyeballs because like it depending on the shape you put them in, it just like I'll just start busting out laughing if I get it into a certain shape sometimes.
Which one was on mine? I don't know which one you used for
forget which one. I think maybe this one, maybe. Or the one with Eric July. Okay.
Might have been the one with Eric July.
I make
Oh
sure that-
God.
This is
That
my
one is
favorite one.
fucking
this is-
hilarious.
I took time on their mouths for this one too.
Yeah,
don't clip me
their
on that.
mouths look fucked up.
What the fuck?
I
That's so
agree.
creepy.
I agree. Chuds are overrated.
That's
man.
so creepy. Oh my God. That was from when he flew to London or whatever and they met up or something, I think. Oh God. Oh God. You noticed there was only like two or three pictures of them in total together, like the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Az doesn't like pictures of him being taken.
Well, I think like just looking at this, like just how you've set it up, it looks like Gary's all happy, and Az just looks like, oh, the fuck, what am I doing?
he looks to me.
I regret my life. I regret.
It looks like he's like desperate to please him. He's like, am I making you happy yet? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Look at me.
Smile.
Did you guys watch the clip of EVS breaking his headset and his monitor or his microphone?
Oh yeah,
or whatever?
I included it in the. Here, watch this.
I almost broke my shit as a joke.
So yeah, included it at the very beginning of the stream here.
Take my hand.
Yeah.
I will lead you to
First you
salvation.
Oh, that's a
Ridiculous,
great
man.
meme.
Turf's
That
just
is a
being
great,
sweet.
great fucking meme. It's a great meme. Oh my God.
Oh, he's like, I mean, look, you know what he was reacting to? Az.
Yeah.
Just like Az and Eric.
Hold on, let me see. I still have it. There was a clip of Az. Where's it at? Did I get rid of it? Maybe it got deleted.
Hell yeah. Man, you know, we
here it is.
appreciate the appreciation, certainly.
All right, hold on, let me share this. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not.
He was just reacting to a performative Az meltdown. That's it.
All right. I have to share this because it's only 30 seconds long and there's nothing to really critique here. I just want you to, we're going to watch the whole thing. Chat, if you haven't seen this, get ready. This is weird. And I'm very curious to what you guys think is happening. This is Az playing a game, but then like 10 seconds into this, things get really strange. Here we go.
Wow, god damn. Did he just fucking like have a seizure, maybe? Moment of self-awareness?
Yeah, I don't know. Like this thing right here where he's just kind of staring off into the distance.
Yeah.
It's really fucking weird.
That is fucking weird. I have something similar where it's definitely weird. And we can look at that on the way out if you guys are wanting to get out of here.
Yeah,
but
real quick before we start signing out, I got my stream tomorrow. Mind everybody come vote on comic books. We got some votes in on already. Yeah, come help me decide half the comic books I'll cover. I'm definitely covering Blood Hunt and Jake Sunrise.
And if you're a chud, go troll him and link and click on everything that you don't want to see, and he'll cover those.
And I will be happy to cover them. I don't post anything I don't want to cover. So
before we go, also give a shout out to my channel. Holy shit, you guys are amazing. Like every day I log in and I just see my numbers looking really good. And I have to thank all the people that are over on my channel. We had like 20 some people watching. Thank you guys for supporting the channel and helping us destroy this algorithm system that we're having. I love the comments, and Bob, you said you get them too, where people are like, what are you doing in my feed? Why am I seeing you show up on my
yeah
I love that. I love it when we're infiltrating the algorithm.
Yeah, I had an idea, by the way. I'll tell you guys after, but like we tried to do yesterday, we recorded some stuff and we tried to do a let's just say what DJ says about the revolution and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and it's hard to do it as well as you do.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I can do it too.
Flow
So
really well. Yeah.
if you enjoy the content that you're watching, you can help destroy the algorithm from the inside, like the symbiote Spider-Man suit, by joining the revolution and become a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. If you want to disrupt the search results and make them more diverse, all you have to do is click on subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below.
Damn. Damn.
Okay.
I know it's but
brilliant.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think that the success of our channels does heavily rely on all the people that are here supporting us. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without these folks like watching out for us. And so I feel like it's a group effort. Like, we're here doing it, but definitely it takes a lot of strength as people who support either through allyship or they're marginalized and they want to come out and start showing love and commenting and subscribing and, you know, joining and super chatting, all that stuff. Takes a lot of effort to do that in the climate we're in. So shout out to everybody for that.
Indeed.
Tolerance is extinction, McLeod. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Yeah, also, I was just going to say real quick for my channel tomorrow, if you'd like to actually come talk to me, email me. If it's reasonable, maybe we can set up something.
Oh yeah, same for me on a Friday. If you'd like to talk to me on a Friday, there you go. Just email me there. Tell me what you'd like to talk about. Tell me if you're available for Fridays. In fact, and if you're somebody who you want to have a conversation, but you're nervous about doing it on live stream, we can do it off stream. We can, I doesn't have to be on a stream. Yeah, especially if you're like somebody, well, not especially, but including if you're somebody who has been part of this kind of community of anti-woke stuff, and but more recently you've been kind of questioning some of these things and doubting some of the people and the intentions and realizing the harm, something like that. I definitely would like to talk to you. And happy to do it if I'm able to help in any way. Get you guided out of that shit heap. Anyway. So yeah, all right. You guys freaking hit subscribe to the channels that are linked below in the description. Head over to the Shill Clips channel. It's called Shill Clips now. It was the initiative. Now it's Shill Clips.
We're moving into the modern times with the Clips channel now.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We are just shells.
That's it. And there's going to be, probably some stuff over there that's not going to be anywhere else and things like that. Maybe some compilations of our content and things like that. So go subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 subs. If we could get to 2,000 before next week, I don't know. I'll do a tit reveal. All right. Peace. Take care of yourselves and one another, and bye.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Let's just have a little bit of a chit chat. Let's just have a little bit of a chatty chat about She-Hulk. She-Hulk's gonna be a whore, quite like women, quite aggressively, for the most part. Oh yeah, that thick ass.
Yeah.
I like it. Because women pretty cool. Helping to bury my head between her big holes. Yeah, this is the weirdest boner I've ever had. Order a lot of alcohol, that's all I can say. Oh my god, it's gonna be like throwing a banana down an alleyway, fucking that. As the Americans might say. Which I think is great. I don't think we're fucking damn. Oh my god, I fucking pissed out of my ass over and over and over and over and over.